Welcome to the Pantheon.
Oh, that was... Oh, nice.
What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh. You know me. If you don't know me, then hey, you probably haven't been around here very often. So if this is your first time to the lounge, just know that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and all of us can get together and talk about all the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that get you excited, then please hit that subscribe button. I almost said escape button. You may want to escape after about 10 or 15 minutes of this. You may just have had enough of me and you're like, I cannot take this guy anymore. But hopefully you don't. All right. So, but you know, hey, it's always there. You can always hit subscribe and then unsubscribe if you don't like us. But we ask you not to do that. You know, just forget about it, right? Like, just subscribe. And if you don't like us, just kind of leave it subscribed there, you know, somewhere in the background. No, hey, but we do ask you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you do know what we're doing around here and when we do it and how we do it and all that good stuff. All right. And then also, if you've been around for a while, you know, maybe you've been subscribed for a while, maybe you're lurking, maybe you've been watching, you haven't hit that subscribe button or whatever, but you've been around and you've been watching, whatever. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you. We appreciate all of you who tune in for the show and who support the show. Right? Because you guys are why we're here, you know, like I've said many, many times, if it wasn't for you guys, I would just be looking at a wall. Yes, it's a wall filled with action figures, but nonetheless, it would just be a wall. And so it's much better when you're here. All right. It's much, much better when you're here. Okay. So also speaking of supporting the channel in various ways, thank you. First of all, we always like to start off the show by thanking all of our supporters, all of you out there who come alongside us in various ways, whether it be the Patreon, whether it be by memberships. There's all the Patreon members, all the patrons, and here are all the members. Look at the members. You guys are growing. Love you guys. If we get a few more of you, we can actually add some more emoticons and some cool stuff like that. So thank you to everyone who does that. Also, thank you to everyone who gives super chats. Just want to tell you up front, we appreciate all of you. And thank you guys for your support during the show and getting your thoughts onto the show. Also, thank you to everyone who just sometimes, you know, drops us a line and says, hey, we believe in what you're doing. Here's a little something extra because we love you. Hey, we appreciate that. And it goes a long way and it helps us out a lot. And of course, all that stuff, if you use those other things, it goes directly to us. No YouTube cut out of that, as it were. And then don't forget to check out our store. The link for the store is in the description below. We got all kinds of great, cool designs that you can pick from and all kinds of fun stuff like a show and so forth. Hope you all had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. Got to go to the movies. It's been a minute. Do I accept Dogecoin, or is it Dogecoin or Dogcoin? It's like Doge or Dodge or whatever. Like, I don't know, man. I haven't really done that. But you know what? If somebody wanted to give me, some coin, I'll look. If somebody wants to give me some coin, I'll figure out a way to take it. One way or another, man. One way or another, bro. We will figure it out. But no, hey, I I hope that you had a good weekend. I got to go to the movies this weekend. I got to go see, Tiffany and I went to go see The Black Telephone, or The Black Phone or whatever. And it was really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. And I hope enough people will see it that we can actually talk some spoilers at some point. Tiffany and I gave a little like 3-minute just assessment of what we thought of it. You can find that video right here on the channel. And so, yeah. So if you haven't seen that yet, it's definitely worth seeing. And really, really good. And, you know, it's not like the typical just jump scare kind of thing, you know, like there's a couple jump scares in it, but I'll be honest with you, the jump scares in this thing are probably the best jump scares I have ever seen. Like they were done really, really well. But it doesn't rely on jump scares. You know, it really has a creepiness to it. Of course, it deals with kids. And so, you know, anytime you got a movie that deals with kids and serious, you know, subjects, you know, like that, you know, kind of real world subjects like, you know, abduction and stuff like that, you know, like you're going to have, it's going to have that creepy vibe to it. And so it definitely had that creepy vibe to it. And man, it was really good. It was really, really good. And so if you're kind of on the fence about it, I would tell you, go check it out. Simply because I told you to. That's the only reason why. But no, I hope you guys had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. I spent some time with my lovely wife, and just kind of hung out. We hung out with friends on Saturday and had a good time with them, and just kind of chilled and kind of partied into the wee hours of the morning Saturday night. And that was fun, you know. So sometimes you just got to let your hair down and have a good time. And so I hope that you guys had a good weekend like I did. That being said, real quick, before we bring in anybody here, I just want to go here and say hello to a couple of people here in the chat. First of all, there's Jared. What's up, Jared? Jar Jar's Fasha. Says, hey Enosh, so I was wondering if I could talk to you sometime and maybe promoting my game a little. I think the community would like it. Hey man, yeah, send me some info, man. We could talk for sure, bro. Yeah, we could talk. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, we could talk. Yeah, send me just hit me up with a DM or something. We could talk for sure. What's up, Aaron? Always good to see Aaron. Says, hey Enosh and others, how is everyone? Hope you're doing well, Aaron. What's up, Abel? Good to see you. That dude Vince is here. What's up? What's up, Luke? Luke. What's going on, bro? Hope you're doing well, buddy. What's up? Patrick says, I go to bed. Bale, Batman. I grew up, and The Boys is fire. The Boys is fire. The Boys is so good. Absolutely. And yes, we're going to talk about this tonight. Finally, Warner Brothers actually promoted Zack Snyder's Justice League. I know hell didn't freeze over, at least that I know of. I didn't get the weather report today, but who knows? Crazy things, right? What's up, Anthony Beltre says, what's up, Enosh? How was your night? My night was good, man. My night was really good. I also watched Beavis and Butthead do the Universe this weekend. I watched that last night. That was pretty good, too. It was really funny. Actually, it really, I thought, captured the spirit of the original show. I really did. I didn't think Beavis and Butthead Do America really captured the feeling of the original show, but I really feel that one did. That this one did. It was really good, and I also caught up on some TV shows. This is Best Buy pushed my Throne Room Boba Fett Black Series back again. Darn it! To August. Wow, man, August. I got a couple of toys to show you guys tonight. What's up, Josh? Order references. Flair sucks. Hey, but you know what? We're going to talk about it. I want to have a good conversation though about Ric Flair and this is going to be supposedly his final match. He's coming back. Mixed feelings on it, to be quite honest with you. I love Ric Flair, actually. I mean, like, I love to hate Ric Flair, right? He wasn't my favorite growing up. I didn't like Ric Flair growing up when I was a kid because I was a Hulk Hogan kid, right? You know, and I was a WWF kid too. So I always loved Sting. Always loved Sting. I watched other wrestling, like I watched AWA, I watched NWA. I loved Lex Luger. Ric Flair was always the one that you loved to hate, right? And as I got older, I did learn to appreciate him, though. I will say that. What's up, Jason? Says, all right, Bale Batman, I'm up for that. Yes. What's up, Marvel Maniac? What's up, RJ? It says, hello, so excited for Harley Quinn Season 3, as am I. What's up, Caleb? Hope you're doing well as well. What's up, Anchorman? Good to see you. It says, what if me and my friend Bash were the men in briefs? The men in briefs? I don't know what that is. Ben Affleck's double chin. With a $5 super chat says, how do you feel about Soldier Boy? I think he has redeeming qualities. A lot of the people he's killed has been via collateral damage and unintentional. Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't read the comics, so I really don't know what the, what is it, canonical version of Soldier Boy ends up being, but I could see that. I could see him being redeemed. I could see him having a redemption story arc, as it were. What's up, Philip? What's up, Philip? What's up, Draga? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, You Do Suck? Jason Lewis in the house. The Dark Knight returns. What's up, Cherie? Good to see you, Cherie. Marcus Cruz is here. Says, Kinky Sphincter is in the house. Antonio, what's going on? Says, hola, Inash. Hola to you as well, Antonio. Says, hope you're doing well. And Bale Batman is one of my favorite Batman, along with Battinson. But I don't know if bringing him back would work since he has a conclusive arc. Also a good point. Also a very, very good point. What's up, Integrity? Says, are we finally starting to see the obvious? Dude, some of us knew always. I mean, at the risk of encouraging you too much, Integrity, I do see your point, and I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter. What's been developing right under our nose for a while now? It's as almost if Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 is inevitable. Money is still green. What's up, Zeno? Good to see you. It says, are we all finally... Oh, wait, hold on. I clicked the wrong thing. What's up, Zeno? It says, just came from one fire stream to this fire stream. Hey, Enosh. Yes, it's going to be a fire stream. We're going to have a good time tonight. RJ says that San Diego Comic-Con should be interesting, especially because WBD and DC aren't going to have booths and are holding back more than they used to before. They don't even have a movie presentation planned out yet. Not yet, but they're coming back. And I think that's the important thing to keep the eye on. I don't think that the story there is that they're not having booths. I don't think that that's the story, man. They're showing back up, and that's something. So, I mean, we'll see what they end up bringing, but we'll get there. We'll get to that. What's up, Slave Lucas? Hello. See anybody else here before we jump in? And I bring everybody in. Going through. Come on, I hate it when it jumps. This thing jumps like crazy. I think Zeno changed his membership. That's usually what that means. I can check and see. Shall we see what Zeno changed his membership to? Here, let's check out what Zeno changed his membership to. Because Zeno has been a member now for quite a while. Wow! And this is why we check the membership, folks. Because Zeno went full Poindexter. Holy crap, Zeno! So I'm gonna owe you a T-shirt, man. You're gonna have to message me so that I can send you your T-shirt of choice. And I gotta send 3 T-shirts out to Anthony Grigsby, and I gotta send a couple of sweatshirts to our good friend Tony as well. But yes, bro, hey, message me your information, and I will get your T-shirt out to you. All right. And for that, I think we got a special woo. Right now. Woo! 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 That's a special new woo. So thank you, Zeno, for going full Poindexter. We have different tiers of our membership, and that's the highest tier of our membership. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. And so if you get that, If you do that, you get a T-shirt for every month that you are in that. Um, yeah, I know, Jason. Hey, Jason, you're preaching to the choir here, man. I'll be honest with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. But he's coming back. He's going to have this match, and we'll, I guess, see how that goes. What do I think of Ric Flair's TNN? Well, that was part of the Ric Flair's TNA run. I mean, it was interesting. I just don't think that he didn't look healthy there. I'll be honest with you. I mean, he was just in the hospital last year. My goodness, and it was pretty serious. But he's trying to hold on, man. He's trying to hold on. I don't know. What's up, Fear Jason? Good to see you, Fear Jason. Film Goblin is here. Good to see you, Film Goblin. Haven't seen you in a while. Absolutely, man. You can always message me, bro. You can always message me, bro. Let's talk for sure. Thank you. I appreciate the love. I definitely appreciate the love. William was there when the telephone was invented. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. I mean, he's been there. Through most things, hasn't he? Really? I mean, I don't know that there's much that he hasn't seen. What's up, Darkstar? Good to see you, my friend. All right, now let's start bringing some people in. First of all, you love him. I love him. William loves him. We all love him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian Master Nud. What's up, Brian?
Evening, everybody.
His mic was on this time. Yay!
Oh, damn right it was. I am ready to go. I had to restart my computer because for some reason, Streamer was like, well, I cannot access your camera. I was like, you did it earlier today.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, I'm here. What's going on, everybody? Hope you had a chance to catch 10 Forward earlier. We had a pretty interesting discussion about Kenobi, me and Dade earlier today. So that was good times. And yeah.
Cool. How you liking Stranger Things still? Or Stranger Things. Strange New Worlds. Stranger Worlds.
I got a story about that one, but we'll get to that in a second. Strange
right.
New Worlds, pretty good. I thought this week was going to be kind of cringy by the way I saw everything, but honestly, how they ended it, fantastic. Great story for Dr. Mbenga, who I kind of feel really hasn't had that much story other than his side plot. So I think that was really nice to actually get to see him do some stuff. But as for Stranger Things,
I was a little surprised, though. I was a little surprised how quickly they ended that story arc, though.
Yeah.
Weren't
that is true. Bit? Yeah, they kind of like, that's it. Like she's healed and she's old now and goodbye.
Yeah. I was surprised that they got rid of that storyline so quick.
Okay. But no, okay. I'll just say this really quick. Okay. So Stranger Things is one of those shows I got badgered on this show for not watching and stuff. So I finally broke down and watched The Boys.
Okay.
Okay.
How much of The Boys?
The first 5 episodes. So you would think
season 1.
If the first 5 episodes in season 1 didn't completely blow me away, and I would agree with everything you guys said. Okay. It was okay. I mean, it's not blowing my skirt up. It's not getting me all excited. I do not care. At the end of the day, I'm just like, oh, it's just it's the still
Boys
superhero.
The Boys season 1 though, it's going places, Brian.
Well, I understand that, but like that's not a very good selling point, is what I'm.
But
trying
it is.
To tell
it's
you.
The curveball. It's the curveball to make you think that it's just superhero stuff.
But see, when I get it, there's a lot of subtext to it, and it does break down the genre, which is also nice. But my thing is it's like, do you ever get that thing where it's like people are just like, hey, you have got to watch this show? You have to watch this show. Why haven't you watched this show? You need to watch this show. And it's like, you finally went and you watch the show, and you're just like, Or it'll be a show like Game of Thrones where there'll be like 8 seasons for you to really get invested in. But they're like, that last season's garbage. It's like, why would you want to talk somebody into a show like that?
Right. Why would I want to start in on? Yeah. No, I get that one, man. Everybody tells me Game of Thrones, and I have not been able to start Game of Thrones yet, even.
Yeah, I tune out. I'm just like, oh, and they're like, oh, it's 80s nostalgia, bro. I'm like, dude, I was 6 in 1989 and 90. So I don't remember the 80s.
Yeah, but it's still good, man. It's still really good, though.
I get you.
It's just really good. It's really good. I mean, like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I just went and saw Black Telephone, and even though I grew up at the end, I mean, I was 4 in 1980, right? So I was born in 76. So I missed, like being coherent for most of the 70s. Yet that movie is set in the 70s, and I get it, right? It's a timepiece, but it's still kind of cool at the same time. I don't know, but I'm a real nostalgic person.
Yeah.
But like You Do Suck says, you can always.
And I was reading. That's why I smiled. I was like,
you can always get
Funny.
into Showgirls. That's the
Yeah.
problem. But isn't that the problem? You Do Suck. You can get into Showgirls, but it's what you get out of Showgirls.
And do you feel right afterwards?
Yeah. Hey, awesomes, yeah. Hey, we'll take care of that for sure. Also, tonight here is Philip Barker. You got like a rock and roll guy name, dude. Philip Barker.
Yeah, something like that. How's it going, everybody?
Good, man. How are you?
Man, I'm even wearing like a rock and roll t-shirt.
There you go.
Yes. That kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know if you guys watched the vodka stream at all with Dave Pena, but Friday night I was on there and it was like it was kind of cool. It was like all the whole old crew, man, and stuff. We talked Kenobi and everything, but John Garza, God bless him, he was on there, and people either love John Garza or hate John Garza, right? And it was funny because I came on there and John was kind of like, I think he was kind of like trolling, kind of like, about Kenobi and stuff like that. And Ray on there was the only person on defending Kenobi. And so Dave was actually really excited when he saw me in the backstage because I came in and was talking about it and stuff. And at one point, Garza dropped an F-bomb and just said, F Kenobi. And I went, okay, but who would you marry and who would you kill? And I think it kind of caught him off guard because like I don't think I've ever seen John Garza like back off like that. He was like, wait, what? He kind of back. It's kind of like when you're playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out, right? And like you got to hit in and like you were shocked and everybody was shocked. And Dave left the room. He was laughing so hard. It was funny. It was pretty hilarious. Like John was like, wait, what'd you just say? Like, yes. It was pretty good. Also here tonight we got Mr. Anthony Beltray. Gotta love that.
What's up? It just
I didn't realize taking the serum made his growth stunted. What's going on?
Yeah, he's small. He's a small person. It's feel bad for him. That would have been great. The Film Junkie stream on Friday was funny.
It was pretty good.
It's like fucking Kenobi, break canon. I was like, no, it doesn't. It's like, it doesn't. Like,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, guys. Well, you know what? It's the beginning of the show. Before we jump in, we only got a couple of things tonight, but before we jump in, it's the beginning of the show, so I've been forgetting to do this. We can't forget to do this. It's the Betty White-ism. The Betty White-ism of the night. Ism of the night. All right. Ism. Okay.
Venom. I had the misfortune of listening to that song this morning when I was making bread.
Oh.
It's stuck in my head. I apologize.
Yeah, it was in a Venom movie.
Yeah, that's it.
Venom's not that bad.
The song
No, I
one's
like
not
the first
either.
one. The first one was
not.
okay.
The first one's
Eminem.
First one's fun.
Yeah, the first one's good. The second one, I don't know what the hell.
So Sony needs Jesus.
Sony needs Jesus.
You
That's not all
know,
they need.
that Madam Web movie? I'm there
Well,
for
then-
it.
There's a Madam Web movie?
There's a Madam Web movie.
For that again, you have the Morbius writers, which I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
That's
but you
a
know
red
what?
flag.
It's got Sydney Sweeney and Emma Roberts.
For
God,
that
I'm
script,
sold.
It's going to be a meme, guys. Come on, you know it. You
It's
love
gonna
it.
be a meme. I guarantee.
It's
you.
going to be amazing.
What's up, Lena Deli? Good to see you, my friend. That's my other rock and roll friend. What's up, Vikram? Vikram just stuck in here. What's up, Vikram?
Well, I'll be
And,
Madam Webbing.
Oh, hey.
That'll be the hashtag.
Madam Webbing. Wow.
It's Morbin time. No, it's Madam Webbing time.
Wow. Hello there, Jedi Code. And then we also have You Do Suck. Says Showgirls was based on Betty White's early life.
Oh, really? So Naomi was loosely based. Oh, wait, never mind. I know too much.
Oh man,
Eating too much.
not a good sign. Not a good sign.
Possibly.
So when we last talked to Betty White, she said, get at least 8 hours of beauty sleep, 9 if you're ugly.
That's why I get 10
Yeah,
for good
so,
measure.
But tonight's Betty Wisdom. Betty Wisdom.
Nice.
Betty Whiteism. Yes,
Yeah.
Betty Whiteism. All right. Says, I think I need a new menu. Mine seems to be full of mistakes. For example, it says a small glass of tomato juice is $6.
God damn.
$6.
$6. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, that's your Betty Whiteism for what the.
Let's get another one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what this is, but all right. The quote is, "I'm not one to blow my own Vertebinflugen."
Oh.
Is that like a safe word?
I think it might be a safe word.
It is a safe word. What are you
I'm not one to blow my own Vertebinflugen.
Wait, let me see the book. Can you put it up, Scare?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Vertebinflugen.
Vertebinflugen.
All right.
Vertebinflugen. Although, many have tried. Many have tried to blow their own Vertebinflugen. And
That's how you break your neck.
yeah, I hear you got to remove a rib or two for that. Also, don't forget, everybody, real quick, if you do sign up for the to be a member or a patron, or you give a super chat anytime tonight, you are automatically in the running for our current giveaway, which our current giveaway is this Skeletor action figure. Hey, yo, Anthony, you got to send me your
I gotta
your
send me.
deets,
Is
bro.
this signed?
No, it's not signed yet, no. But I mean, we'll sign it before we send it for sure. We'll send it before because I'm gonna send it out. I'm gonna send it out the day that I send out the Dork Knight stuff.
Yeah, I got you after the show for sure.
Wait, hold on. It's not the Dork Knight. It's Fourth 1000. I just saw Dork Knight here. It says, Poindexter Lounge, I have my second interview with Marvel Studios tomorrow. I'm so nervous and yet excited for it. I hope I get it, bro. I hope you get it too, man. That's awesome. Yes, bro. Yes, that's awesome, man. Yes, Dork Knight is trying to work with Marvel Studios, and that is freaking flipping awesome. But yeah, if y'all join in, you automatically get in the running for this Skeletor. And look, no matter what you thought of the series, you got to admit, man, the designs, look at that artwork alone. Dude.
Amazing, bro.
Oh,
is it season 2 or 3 next year? I think next year.
Next year, I think. Yeah. So, dude, I'm there for it, man. I am there for it. Oh, you know what? I should play this.
They're gonna go crazy with the next storyline.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be good. Whatever it is, it's gonna be good. From the way that it sounds, man. It's
gonna be great, George. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be
amazing.
The live action movie with Netflix. That's the one I'm worried about.
You're always worried about something in live action.
Last time somebody ever said that about a B1 battle droid, am I right?
But I mean, I trust the writers. They do good justice.
I just heard it's getting a rewrite from the same people who are doing Madam Web.
Oh no! No.
Sounds like a plan.
Something tells me that's not true.
It's not.
Although
I'm just saying. What's up? TX Voodoo? Good to see you. Oh, Titty Nash say, "Send me your teeth, Anthony." Yes, in a jar. No, his deets. He won the last giveaway. The last giveaway was this Optimus Prime statue, along with this Megatron statue. So he won both. He won the double feature. So he's got that coming. All right. So I got a couple of. Did that send over? Check this. Okay, so check out this. Check this out. This is super cool. This is an old commercial for Masters of the Universe toys.
What year?
Oh gosh, man, this would have been before the cartoon came out, because this was like testings for the cartoon, because you'll notice Skeletor's voice isn't
Played by the
this was a commercial for Castle Grayskull. Check this out.
It holds the powers of the universe.
He-Man, Skeletor has captured Castle Grayskull. We must stop his evil power. To Grayskull!
Defeat He-Man's forces, but leave him to me.
Here I am, Skeletor.
He-Man! Skeletor is getting away!
But Castle Grayskull is safe with us. Nothing's safe while Skeletor is out there.
How cool is that?
That was pretty saucy.
The voice is not good, but hey, that was great.
Pretty cool.
Man. You gotta love how Tila is writing Battle Cat. So I'm sure somebody back then was going, "It's woke."
Technically, that
Everybody
term
knows.
doesn't
Everybody knows
exist.
only He-Man. Only He-Man rides Battle Cat, not Tila. They're replacing He-Man, and He-Man's not even a thing yet.
It's identity politics.
Jack here says, "What about the She-Ra live action on Amazon?" Yeah, that's a thing, man.
It's
They're
crazy
making
it's not for Netflix, which is wow. It's weird. But hey,
yeah.
Amazon.
Well, Netflix didn't have the rights though to She-Ra, so so that was still out, because the rights are different between He-Man and She-Ra, and so so they're making a live action She-Ra, man. That's gonna be. I hope they do it justice.
I'm gonna make another G.I. Joe TV show, maybe something like that. So
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Cool
It's a
stuff.
G.I. Joe TV show. For sure.
I think, I'm looking at my YouTube right now. Hasbro is currently streaming G.I. Joe, Real American Hero on their channel.
Yep. Yeah, they've been they stream. There's actually, I don't know if it's just the Hasbro one, but there's another one that I know streams G.I. Joe Real American Hero 24/7. It might just be the regular Hasbro one, but I don't know if they do different stuff on the Hasbro channel at times.
Interesting.
I don't know. So I got a couple toys to show you, and then we'll jump right in. First of all, so I was in this shop the other day, and I came across this figure, and I realized like I had not gotten this figure when it came out a couple months ago, and
Wallace.
Landon got it. The Wally West figure, and they wanted $40 for this figure in our resale shop, and it was used. It was used, and so it had already been opened and everything. And I was like, I'm not spending $40 on it. So like, I went online. I found it on Walmart.com, $19.99, shipped. 2 days later, it was in my hands. So
That looks like Rebirth Wally West.
it is. Yeah, it is.
It is?
It's Rebirth. Yeah, it even says on there.
Oh man, I hope we get Wally West in live action again. A second version of Wally. That'd be cool.
Oops.
Maybe if Iris has a nephew in the Flash movie, who knows?
So I got that, and then something that I've been waiting for forever, and then I'm kind of cheesed off about it all at the same time, because I've been waiting for this thing forever. It's been on pre-order, God knows how long, and then I finally got the shipping notification from GameStop, and I was like, yeah, awesome. And that is my George Lucas Stormtrooper right there from GameStop.
Imagine George Lucas being a clone.
Imagine if they had used George Lucas as like the template instead of Jango Fett. That'd have been funny.
Oh, that would be crazy.
And look, it's pretty cool. Like it's got like his information on the back there and stuff, in Stormtrooper.
So young George Lucas.
And it's cool and all, except for this one thing. It was put in a box that was slightly too small. And I don't know if you can see there the crease. There's a bend, and unfortunately, it's actually creased. You can kind of
you can see under the Star Wars.
Yeah, you can kind of see that it's creased on the back end there. So but I already know that if I try to set it back or whatever, they're just going to be like, "Oh no, we don't have any more," because it was in short supply. So if I see one though at my GameStop though, I'm going to go and I'm going to be like, "Hey, switch that sucker out for me. But I waited long enough for it that I didn't want to do that. But it's a pretty good likeness.
Yes, it looked like him a little bit, So yeah.
Looks a lot like him. Yeah.
Yep. So this is the 6-inch figure. It's a Black Series figure. I've got a. They made a different George Lucas action figure in the 3 3/4, and I got that one too. So
I know they got one for John Favreau too, and Dave Filoni coming.
Yeah, I got the Dave Filoni. I don't have the John Favreau one though.
In Filoni we trust.
In Filoni we trust.
Yes, we do.
The Favaloni, yes.
Can't wait for Ahsoka. Can't wait for
the Favaloni universe.
Can't wait for the Rebels sequel with Ahsoka. That's gonna be good.
Heck yeah, I can't wait either. So okay, so let's go ahead and we'll jump right into some of our stuff tonight. Is everybody doing good? You all have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was fine. I got drunk and watched Doctor Strange again. It was cool.
That's funny. How about you, Brian?
I overindulged Wednesday with sweet Disney Plus content. I must have watched the Obi-Wan Kenobi finale like 3 or 4 times.
Really?
Dude, I was so happy getting to see that again. I was one of the people that was like, nah, I don't know about this show. I don't know, guys. And I'm sitting there going, I'm not crying. You're cutting onions, bro. Like, get away from me with the onions. No. It was bad. But no, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was great. And then I got up, watched Miss Marvel. Awesome. Yep.
Oh, I'm not alone in that? Awesome.
Yeah, no, it was a great show. I have fun. No, the way I look at it anymore, if I could just have fun with this stuff, it did its job. Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's been fun.
Agree completely. I mean,
I'll be right back, Brian. Go ahead. Go.
Oh yeah, no problem. But no, the thing I like about Miss Marvel is that it's like, once again, I did not go into that show with very high expectations or any at all.
Same.
And that's one of the things that I've just kind of been like, all right, I think from now on, this is where I'm going to go. But then I watched Doctor Strange because they dropped a lot of stuff on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I forgot that Star Trek Strange New Worlds was on Thursday. And it's been a week. But no, so I watched that one on Friday. And if you haven't been watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I would recommend it. I'm not going to badger you over the head, and it's still the first season, so you can catch up. It's not that bad.
When it comes to Star Trek in general, I feel like such a knave, like a noob, because I don't know. I never really found any kind of investment in the show. I mean, I liked it when I watched it. That's kind of a generalization in and of itself, because I can distinguish original series and Next Generations, but after that, it's like way over my head. But I do know that Strange New Worlds precedes the original series by about 10 years continuity wise, right?
Thereabouts.
Discovery is like it's in its own thing now. They're like 4 or 5 seasons deep, and it's like
they're like 1,000 years in the future.
Right. All sorts of craziness stuff going on. But yeah, mostly for me, when it comes to Star Trek, it's not that it's like not my bag. It's just I feel like there's a lot.
It's overwhelming. I totally understand. Like, well, especially with that's kind of how I am with a lot of shows. It's like, I think if I wouldn't have been into Star Trek, it would be very difficult for me to kind of get it and stay in it,
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's so hard. Like, I don't know. And I don't want to be one of those people to complain because it's like, oh, there's just so much content. But it's like, if you really think about it, there's a lot of content that that's out there to watch, it's like, God damn, what am I going to do, man? Like, I always find myself watching reruns though. And historical documentaries.
Which run of Star Trek do you revisit the most?
Deep Space Nine. That was my foray into Star Trek, and it's always had a place in my heart.
Got it. Okay.
But NASA documentaries, guys. NASA documentaries. Let me tell you, you have not lived until you've looked at the early years of NASA.
You know, you touched earlier on The Boys, and like your assessment of the first season, I don't really think it's too far off, because when I finished the first season, I was kind of in the same boat as you. I was like, oh, okay, it's cool. Like it
It's
has
a
its
show.
fun. It has its fun moments, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When you get to season 2, I think is really where they really start to take
All right,
off,
I'll
and
slug it
things,
out a little bit more. Maybe I'll.
and things really, at least for me, you know, it kind of kicked into high gear then. And then by the time you get to season 3 is just there has not, in my opinion anyway, there has not been a miss of an episode. There's not been a bad episode, and it really pushes the boundaries of what they do in that show probably to the limit they have at this moment in time. And the way that Kripke's talked about the show, and that they kind of want to do, they don't want to supernatural the shit out of it where it goes on for like 15 fucking seasons or whatever, right?
Too long. Yeah.
They want to do like, you know, 5-6 seasons, give or take, and they're on their 3rd season. And having read some things about the comic itself, I have a general idea of how it might end. I'm not going to say definitively how it will end, but I will say the trajectory that they're on regarding Homelander is very much in that vein. So
Yeah.
Although with Herogasm, the comic book version is better though. Like, you know, but like it was a great episode. I like those things they show. Is like I have seen those things before. I like, is that okay?
It's like saying Batman's better in comics than he's in any other medium.
I have no problem with this week's episode. I thought it was okay. It was 8 out of 10. So yeah.
Thank you. I was getting really warm. I was getting kind of overheated in here. Like it was really it was kind of cool today outside. And so when I first walked in the room, it was like pretty chill and everything. But then like once I was in here, it was like I was getting hot, and I was kind of like getting, you know, like how you start getting like, yeah. And I'm like, we're only a few minutes into the show. Like, what the heck, man? Like,
They changed hats too.
I did.
Yeah,
Well,
you
because,
did.
you know, because the black hat doesn't really go with the blue shirt. So I figured, you know, I will change, you know, I try to color coordinate in some, you know, because like dark black doesn't usually go with dark blue. So, I mean, you know, like I could go like a lighter blue. I could go a Cubs if you want. Or, you know, I mean, like this is a black hat, but it's got some blue. You don't like that, huh?
I'm better. I don't have to.
LA, right?
I don't know what you want, man.
Dodger.
I don't know what you want, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want. I mean, I could go. Let's see.
Go
I could go dark side.
Yep.
It's got a little red on there.
Oh, I thought it was a Dodger hat again. I'm sorry.
Oh, why? Because it's evil. Because it's evil.
Sorry.
But it is the dominant force in the universe.
William remembers when they played in Brooklyn, right? Right, William? Oh, no. Okay.
Darth Vader says Kenobi is dead to me now. I have no
Man, it
need
was
for
a
him.
Dodger joke and a Wolf joke.
Yeah, if you search up the original voice Vader voice, it's hilarious.
What's up, Tayron? Good to see you, my friend. What's up, Matabata? Made my giblets tingle.
Hello.
Oh,
It's a
Alright.
giblet.
Oh, I missed the one before it here. I'm just like, I thought I did something that made your giblets tingle. Or maybe Brian did. Brian's known for making giblets tingle. Not in 28 years have I enjoyed a villain get destroyed like Homelander. He was, yeah. You know
What? Homelander's dead?
No, Homelander's not
He's
dead.
not.
Point of watching the
not
show.
dead.
Come
No.
Come
Homeland,
on,
no.
spoilers.
Destroyed.
He's not dead.
Destroyed is not. No, destroyed is not an actual. No.
Oh gosh. See, I'm just messing with you.
Brian, if you like NASA doc, says Nate or Nat.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Nat. Have you seen the 90s HBO series that dramatized the early space program called From the Earth to the Moon, produced by Tom Hanks?
Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, my my science teacher, my freshman year in high school, when that came out, had us watch it.
You know what's interesting? You know what's interesting too is that when I went to start the Star Trek experience in Vegas back in the day, they had a whole wall and like all this stuff that went along with it that told the history from the Wright brothers all the way up until modern Star Trek.
Nice. But
so it's like it was real history, and then it hit like a certain point, and then it was Star Trek history, like as if it was real history, which is cool.
But I would recommend this show. This show is fantastic. It does recreate, and there's also another show on Disney Plus right now called The Right Stuff, which deals with the Mercury 7. But From the Earth is awesome. They made it right after they did Apollo 13, so it's like Ron Howard producing with Tom Hanks.
Nice.
It's really good quality, great show. I'm trying to figure out where it's at. Like HBO Max, if you put that back on there, I might reconsider canceling my membership because I already did. I don't watch it. What do I need it for?
You know what I watch, dude? You know what? I go to bed every night listening to either Robot Chicken or South Park.
South Park, yeah.
Yep. I've got another phone. I got an extra phone. I just put it on HBO Max, and I hit. But it's an iPhone 6, so it's so outdated it won't update anymore, and so I can't use Disney Plus on there anymore. But HBO will still play, and so typically I will.
iPhone 6, damn, that's a long time. Wow.
But the phone still works. I just keep it around to use the phone. Actually, I don't use it for anything. I just use it for the phone. But yeah. Darth Vader says, Inquisitor Enosh. Ooh, I'm an Inquisitor. Hello. Wow. Thank you, Lord Vader. Thank you, Lord Vader. May I serve you well.
To give people ideas.
As to one day. Lord Vader, I present to you Kenobi's old lightsaber.
Oh, I'm just gonna say
I plan on bleeding the saber. Bleeding the crystal, I should say.
Why does it make his face blue? Why is the lightsaber so bright?
Right.
Why didn't he say he has the high ground?
Dude, you know what? I will say this. That was a missed opportunity.
Yes, it was.
That's fair. That's the only thing, because dude, you all know that in that moment when Vader is standing above him like that, it would have been so awesome for him to say, "Don't try it. I have the high ground."
Oh,
and we would have all gone,
"Ah!" It'd have been funny if it'd have been like, "Now I have the high ground," and with that last little rock, just bitch.
Can I just say I love the way lightsabers look on camera? Like,
yeah,
they just look so real and cool. Like, I mean, they look cool in person, but they just look so much cooler on camera.
I feel like they actually used like lightsabers on this show.
Well, that's what they're doing now. That's what they've done actually since episode 7. They have battle lightsabers because the light reflects on their faces and everything and on the environment, so they don't have to add it in post.
Yeah, before it wasn't like CGI.
No,
like,
it was some dude standing behind Hayden Christensen with blue lights going.
Yeah,
red lights, blue light. Behind the scenes, episode 2. That's what they did. They actually had him hold light bars.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't seen that part, but yeah. But it's funny. Friday night on the Vodka stream, we were talking about it, and Stephen Colbert was talking about like how like the whole series looks a little dark. Yeah. The whole series looks a little dark. Apparently, the way that they filmed it, because the way that they had to film it for the certain blues or whatever, like I came in at the last part of it, but we kept teasing him about it though, because it had something to do with the lightsabers and stuff like that, and how they did it. It made it so that it almost like lowers the quality of the video. So so like and if they tried to change it, it would all turn blue. So all the blacks would turn blue. So they can't do it. So
well, Enosh has one he can bleed on camera.
That's right.
He does.
I'm just waiting
the
for
crystal. It's the start of your training, Inquisitor Enosh.
I can't wait for the.
I will not fail you, Lord Vader.
I can't wait for
and if this one fails, I already have 5 red lightsabers in the other room, including Lord Maul's old saber.
What about Revan's? You got that one where
I have Revan's.
It goes from red to blue.
Lord Vader. It goes from red to purple.
Purple.
Do you have Rave? What do we pronounce the character?
Riva. So no, so they announced that as a it's a Hasbro
Star Wars Simulations. Yeah.
It's like
the old Black series or whatever.
Well, it's a Black series, but they're doing it like they did my Razor Crest, where it's a crowdsourced kind of thing, and so there's a bunch of people who I don't know why they're pissed off at that lightsaber, and I don't know why.
Helicopter Enosh, come on, you said
no,
it. Yes,
no,
yes.
I don't think it spins. But
It
I do want it.
Hers did.
Well, yeah, in the show, but I don't think it does for real. But I don't think the collectible does. But here's the thing though about that is that the average lightsaber costs about $220. Okay.
What if it does?
If you buy most, it can range from anywhere from for Black Series lightsabers for anywhere between $220 to $250. There are aftermarket places, third party places that sell them for much higher. And some of them look cool, but it's really 50-50.
They're knockoffs. They're like close to what you're looking for, but not in. These aren't
some
the
are,
droids you're looking for.
Yes, HasLab. Thank you, Nate or Nat. I don't know why I keep calling you Nat or Nate, man. I'm gonna get it, Nat. I promise. No, you're absolutely right, Nat. So HasLab, yeah, it's HasLab is what they're doing, and so that's how I got my Razor Crest. But the thing is that like a lot of those sabers, a lot of them you can battle with them. The Black Series ones you cannot yet. They're not making them, like battle worthy yet. But with the Black Series ones, you could take the blade out now. You didn't used to be able to like this. It's literally one of my favorites. I have the Disney Parks version of this, and I actually like the Black Series version better. It's sturdier feeling, and surprising. I just happened to have this one here because I was showing it to him the other night. But this is actually surprisingly one of my favorite lightsabers for feel. And just the way that it is. But the funny thing about that is that these other companies, they make them, and for some reason, a lot of these companies, the hilts are super long.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. Like, not all of them. There are some companies that make normal ones. But also, what is cool about some of the third party ones is how like on Luke's Return of the Jedi one and Obi-Wan's Episode 3 one, it's got the little skinny part right here, right? Because it's just the emitter, so the actual one, doesn't have to go all the way through. Where this one, the blade has to go all the way through. They have the part that's skinny there and just attaches. But those are so expensive. But I don't know why people are griping and complaining about the HasLab one, because the HasLab one for Reva's double-bladed saber is $499.
Oh, wow.
For the HasLab thing.
That is a fair price, though.
Yeah, well, and the thing is it's going to be limited, a limited run, so not everybody's going to have one, right? And so even if it's like $50 up to it's only at most $50 more than like a normal saber would cost for a double bladed, because you'd have to buy two single bladed ones to make the double bladed one. I've got the Darth Maul saber, but I've got the master replicas from back in the day, which are nicer. But like even Asajj Ventress, I have one side of Asajj Ventress because Tiffany didn't want me to get her the second side just to make the double bladed S type lightsaber. I still plan on getting her one at some point, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. People are really complaining about it, and it's like, Star
Wars Theory has like replicas.
So it's $500, but you're gonna have something that's numbered. You're gonna have something that's not, the general public can't just get it. They have to go through HasLab. So I gotta order it. But I don't know why people are so like bent out of shape about it. I mean, it doesn't come out till like next year or something like that. It is kind of weird that they did a HasLab for a lightsaber, because they've already got all those. I mean, you can go, different places and get lightsaber, like the parks and, different things. So it's kind of weird that they did that, but I don't know.
Where did you get that one that you were just showing us?
I just got that at the store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I got that one at GameStop when it came out. Yeah, I got almost like 25
GameStop having good shit
lightsabers.
Since when?
Yeah. Well, was it 500? Nat, you know what? So I wish that I wish that I had gotten in on Jabba's sail barge. My problem was I was not aware of the HasLab sail barge. Now that sail barge is going for $3,000. if you can find one. I found one for $2,000. Sarge and Reds. You guys know I've talked about Sarge and Reds in Utica, Michigan, and they're supporters of the channel and stuff. I went down there the second time I was down there. They had he had one on the floor, and apparently he had another one in storage. Damn, $2,000. But yeah, it was originally $500, and now they're $3,000.
No, definitely not. No, okay, no.
Yeah. So the stuff goes up in value. You know, I mean, I don't know if that lightsaber is going to go up in any value, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But all right. So what shall we talk about first? We were talking about The Boys. So why don't we talk a little bit about Harley Quinn season 3? Reportedly, now, Brian, you haven't watched it. So this last week though was an episode. It's been all over. So I mean, it is just what it is. It was an episode called Herogasm.
Correct.
And it was just part of there was an actual comic in The Boys thing called Herogasm, and basically it's a night where all these superheroes get together and they basically have a big orgy. So, as you may have guessed, it was an interesting episode. I didn't think that the episode went as far as they acted like it was going to go. To be honest, I don't know what I expected.
They were overhyping it. Yeah, they were overhyping. I was like, bro, we made okay. Like we most of the stuff they show in the episodes like we have seen before. It's like okay, it was okay. I give it still 8 out of 10.
I think the amount of gasming that they were pushing out, as opposed to what if you know about the event in the books and if you've read it, then obviously what was shown isn't quite that. But then again, a lot of the things that are in the books are so gnarly that they almost kind of have to, I wouldn't say water it down. They'd have to dial it back to some extent. And I feel like the way they toned it back here for this, it really did. It did what it needed to do. And not for nothing. I mean, watching the Deep go at it with an octopus, it was so funny.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I think Aquaman would do that though.
I thought to myself, like, is that Timothy's brother, cousin, family member?
But see, they took the having sex with a fish joke to its conclusion, right?
Correct.
So
and then you have I forgot the speedster guy. God damn it! Like
what?
The speedster. I forgot his name. Damn it. Fuck, what's his name? Damn it.
Which one?
The guy who runs fast. Who's
A-Train.
A-Train.
A-Train. Yeah, A-Train. Like the way that he took the guy and he did like that was brutal. I was like,
that was great.
Drag him. That was amazing. I was like, holy shit. I love that. And then in the fight at the end with Homelander, Busher, and Soldier Boy was great. I love that. It was a great fight.
Hey, Lord Vader, I will never correct you, but I don't know who Daryl Cayley Quacko is.
Misspelled the last
but as
name.
Harley has not failed Darth Vader, so that's good. Whoever Lieutenant Daryl Cayley Quacko is. But I love it. Darth Cayley force choking the autocorrect. Nice recovery. Nice recovery.
Have you seen any of the other images that they've shown off from season 3 so far?
Of Harley? Quinn. I've seen a couple.
I saw the one what looked like to be Court of Owls, I think.
Oh yeah, they released that today. Yeah.
That looks interesting.
I guess he's joining the close hour, which like, oh sure, why not?
By the way, quick little side note, if at any point during this episode I start to robot out or I look pixelated, please let me know immediately. I spent an hour on the phone with Comcast on Saturday, like giving them hell because like all of a sudden my computer kept kicking me and don't mess with me, okay? Just like only if it's real. I can tell when it's real because I get a little Wi-Fi signal here. But no, like I was doing something online. I was literally filling out a document and it kicked me out 8 times. And so I got on the phone with Xfinity And they finally did a thing. You guys know, like, you guys been teasing me, like, oh, you get your internet from a Cracker Jack box and everything. And come to find out, there was a physical problem with the line that comes from the street over the house and everything into the house. And I'm like, okay. And so they came out today and supposedly they fixed it. But I said, all right. So then I got on the phone with them. I'm like, but I've been paying for your top speed now for how long? And they figured out that I was only getting 6 to 20% of the service that I was paying for.
Oh.
Yeah. So I called them back and I said, oh, guess what? Now that it's fixed, supposedly, and I'm hoping that it is fixed, but I said, now that it's fixed, guess what? Y'all owe me. You know how embarrassing that is? Like, dealing with that. Like, I'm sitting here paying out the butt for the fastest stuff to make sure that I can, like, upload stuff,
and it
download.
Burns you?
What's that?
And it burns you like that?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Heck no, man. I was pissed. I was pissed when I found that out. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I've literally been paying for it this whole time, and you're going to play me like that. Like, no. So anyways, so y'all know I've done my duty to try to fix my freaking internet. They also gave me a new modem today. I just got a new modem a couple months ago, but everybody's like, get closer to your modem. I'm like, I'm touching the modem right now where I stand, and I'm hardwired, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, Harley Quinn season 3's episode titles may tease 2 Herogasm X adventures. The episode titles for season 3 of HBO Max's Harley Quinn, the animated series, reportedly hint at episodes similar to Herogasm on The Boys. Are you ready for this? As reported by Spoiler TV, 2 episode titles for the upcoming 3rd season of HBO Max's DC animated series seemingly hint at a storyline similar to the Herogasm episode in season 3 of The Boys, which featured a superhero orgy adapted from the comics by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. The Harley Quinn episodes are episode 4, A Thief, a Mole, an Orgy, and episode 9, Climax at Jazza Pajizza.
What?
These episode titles have not been confirmed by HBO Max or DC.
I would hope not. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
So I got to ask you guys, and I got to ask the chat, and if you're watching this video later, leave a comment. I think I know the answer, but, like, would you... I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to see, like... Okay, we want to see it, but do we really want to see...
Like, is it necessary?
Yeah, that's a better question.
Harley having a Herogasm, like... With Poison Ivy, that is crazy, bro. I don't know.
I think there's 2 ways you could look at it, right? Like, if there was a character that you could pull this off with in DC, Harley Quinn is probably the one that you could pull it off with.
Yeah.
That said, by the very same stroke, no pun intended, it's getting the kiss with Poison Ivy was a win in and of itself, right?
Yes.
Do we really need to be like, okay, let's see how far we can push this? Is that really something you want to do? Because it can really, what's the right words I'm looking for here? It can really change and alter the perception of just how far you're willing to go with the show. I mean, when the show was announced, it was announced with the intent of it being, raunchy, very mature, very, R-rated and whatnot, and the material that they do in the show. I mean, I think it's got one of the most vicious Batman beatdowns that Bane's ever given him in any medium.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that, it's got a lot of profane language. I honestly, some of the things I find absolutely hysterical is the old dude, the half robotic stuff.
Darth Vader is cracking me up in the chat. I'm sorry. Like, Moff Phillip, I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I ain't no Moff, boy.
Hey, Moff is an important job, Philip. And he called you, and Lord Vader called you Philip, so...
He spelled my name wrong.
But at least he tried. And he is Vader. If he spells it that way, that's the way it's spelled from now. He says those better not be the Death Star plans. I see those documents, Inquisitor Enosh.
Imagine
you get to be a leader in the. Yeah, I'm just an inquisitor, man. You're a
imagine if
moth,
Vader
for
have a
God's
phone.
sake. Jeez.
That would be cool.
But see, okay, so Nat brings up a point that I was thinking about this, right? Rule 34, right? This is there's stuff already, like if you just need to see naked Harley Quinn, you know what I mean, or naked superheroes, this is everywhere. I mean, you can find this on the internet, right? My concern about it is this: you start making official thing, like I just don't see them doing that. I just feel like it's going to be a tease. You know what I mean? And like I just feel like the fact that like news outlets are taking that seriously, that somehow we're going to see something even close to the level that was Herogasm. I just don't see that happening. I don't see them showing like full on orgy DC superheroes.
Yeah.
In a cartoon or any, I mean, you know,
you're right, because they haven't really shown nudity.
Yeah.
I don't think like that's the one thing they've really
maybe
kept.
a butt, maybe. I don't.
Maybe
Maybe Kite Man's butt. I seem to like. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, like I mentioned, like there's the if you're gonna do it, you can do it with this character, and that's fine. But by that very same trade, like, will this potentially feed into that narrative that she's over sexualized? It's a possibility. It's really going to come down to how they execute it and how they showcase it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. What do you think, Brian? You want to see Harley Quinn naked or naked Harley Quinn and I should rephrase that question. I mean, we know what you want to see, but I mean, do you think that it's necessary?
Yeah, no, and yes. I mean, honestly, I don't animation. I'm not that kind of person, so it doesn't do it for me like that. So, anywho, so that question, but no, I just don't care about this animation stuff. Let's test my patience.
Yes, Lord Vader.
Draga52, who are the $2 Australian super chat. Thank you, Draga. Says Shazam will have an orgasm.
Yes,
an orgasm.
Are you sure?
He'll yell out, "Orgasm!"
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. No, Billy, no.
And then out of
the
nowhere,
implications of that though is he's like a 14-year-old kid.
Billy Batson, no.
And then out of nowhere, Shazam appears and goes, "Kazam!"
Kazam.
Oh no.
Yeah, Aaron here says we don't need to see Harley Quinn naked. I mean, like I said, there's plenty of places out there that if you just gotta see that, trust me, there's artwork, there's adult films, whatever that give you that story.
Just look up.
You can find
Harley.
it anywhere you want to find it.
Exactly.
All you have to do is just look up Harley and Poison Ivy doing it, and you will see on Google easily. So,
literally look at it.
I mean,
Draga says, Aaron, you're right, but it wouldn't kill anyone.
I mean, you might even just do a simple search of clown porn and it might show up. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not speaking from experience.
I mean, if live actions you're saying, I'm sure people cosplay for you too.
It's amazing when you're bored what can pop up on your screen, huh?
So, Harley Quinn season 3, huh? No.
Really, at this point, I guess just looking up Harley Quinn season 3 could be like a.
How about the Mets?
Anyways, let us know down what you think about that in the comment section. Do you really want to see that from Harley Quinn season 3, or do you think it's just more of a tease? So,
considering Blake Bell is voicing Poison Ivy, I might be a little bit more forgiving.
Look, no one's kicking him out of bed. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's Vader. He doesn't even say anything. He's just breathing. That's even more weird. when Vader just stares at you for a minute, like it's like
You can't tell whether the gears are working or it's the mag.
Vader's having flashback to Padme. That's what he's doing.
be careful with what appendages got cut off there with a lightsaber.
I think that part of him might still function.
I think so too. Actually. But yeah. So there's that. Also, to just update, this is just a quick update, but to update a story that we talked about the other night when we were all here, Deadpool 3 scribes are saying now that they're embracing the MCU. This was something that we didn't get as part of the article that we read the other night, but it's apparently part of the same article. By the way, I love this picture of Deadpool.
Oh my, that's hilarious. Deadpool chip.
Isn't that a great picture of Deadpool? Like, give me a break.
I love Ryan. Man, I love Ryan Reynolds, man. What a great
God, I love him. I love him as that. But so this was a continuation because you remember the other night we read it that it said, they said that the movie coming up, they're working on the movie, right?
They're working on the script, yeah.
But this says that recently screenwriters Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick spoke to Post Cred Pod about adapting to the MCU, and they seem to be playing it straight, not changing Deadpool himself so much as the world around him to be like the regular MCU. And this is the part that we already read that said, it's a wonderful opportunity for fish out of water comedy. Deadpool is a lunatic at the center of a movie. To drop a lunatic into a very sane world, it's straight butter. It's going to be really fun. And that's the part that we read, and we talked about how, just like all the possibilities that they could do with that, like, does he know he'll obviously know he's in the MCU now as opposed to being at Fox, and God,
because
all the
Fox is broke.
Right, like all the jokes, man, that can come from that, right? But also, I theorize that, because he knows he's in a comic, wouldn't Deadpool also know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man? And they could use that technically to explain how they pull him into the MCU from the multiverse.
Yeah.
It was just a thought, was that, that could work. God only knows how they're going to, get him in, but that's how so far everybody else who's come from the multiverse has come into the MCU.
Although we're more.
Oh, we got Venom.
What if
he hitched
Deadpool...
a ride on a piece of Venom?
What if Deadpool kicks off Phase 5?
That makes sense. That
because
makes sense.
as far as I'm aware, Fantastic Four is supposed to put the pin on Phase 4, and I don't think they've slated anything to start Phase 5. But we'll probably find out here what their plans are in just mere weeks, because they are going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, then again in September for D23.
D23 and the Disney Plus Day.
Right, that as well.
Yeah.
So, but this is the part that we didn't see. That was not in the part that we saw and talked about, which is we're absolutely finding the serendipity and the gold in that situation, or we're trying to. And this is ... Deadpool is going to be Deadpool. Now, when it comes to a particular joke, if we cross a line, maybe we'll hear at some point, maybe not that joke, but I think Disney, have been incredibly supportive of what we're doing. And it's coming in 2024, so...
Damn.
Yeah, that's around Phase 5, so that makes... Yeah, makes sense to release it. Yeah, I'm coming for Deadpool 3.
Is Phase 5 is Phase 5 coming that soon in just 2 years?
Well, next year is 2023, so...
And their lineup for next year is Ant-Man Quantumania, the Marvels.
Blade? No, Blade. I think Blade might be next year, 2024.
I think Blade. I saw that it might start shooting now, but it might. I think I did also see that it's going to start shooting in October.
Yeah, it got pushed because of scheduling and stuff like that. Yeah,
that tracks.
By the way, this joke is very meta and on point. Whoever you are, Black Noir.
He doesn't talk. Like
he doesn't talk. Well, he's the Snake Eyes of that world, basically.
Yeah,
he's a better Snake Eyes than the freaking Snake Eyes movie. Let's be honest.
That's 100%.
Yeah,
that ain't saying much, but yeah.
Oh, I missed one. I totally missed a movie. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out next year too.
That is true. So it's 3 Marvel movies next year.
Right.
So RJ here says Fantastic Four should be summer 2024, and that is rumored to be concluding Phase 4. Blade is rumored to start Phase 5.
It's not a rumor. I think Kevin Feige outright said like Phase 4 ends with Fantastic Four. I don't remember where, but I'm pretty sure he's on record saying that.
Well, they might delay. Oh,
Well, no,
they
he
might
said
delay
he's.
something.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, no, he did say rumored. Okay, never mind.
But I mean, to be honest, if they switch those 2 release days, I'd be fine. Have Blade kick it off with Deadpool and stuff like that. And yeah,
Deadpool would be an interesting way to start off a new phase. I'll say that.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, that'd be crazy to start it off with that, but yeah.
And with the Disney marketing, that would definitely push away a lot of money too. And stuff like that. So yeah, can't wait to see what Deadpool have in plan. Hope we get more announcement about it in D23. Hopefully. So,
I'm sure we will. Also, moving right along, stories just keep coming and coming. Christian Bale.
Oh my gosh.
Says I would play Batman again if Christopher Nolan directs.
Oh my gosh! Please no. Dark Knight Rises was no.
I thought we were done with this, man. Like, look, I like the Dark Knight. I like Batman Begins. I love Batman Begins, and I love the Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises, I'm like a lot of people. It's
not a good movie, bro.
No, there's just so much that doesn't work for me there. But
why didn't you change the name, Robin?
Dude,
I was spawned in the darkness, bro. Shut up. I don't care. Whatever.
Right. I feel like this comment or this response gets prompted from Bale almost every other news cycle, every other year. Like it's not regurgitated per se, but you got to figure like he gets asked this enough. Got to appreciate the consistency. I mean, if they came back and did another movie, I feel like it would have to maybe take place with some kind of inspiration from like a mix of Batman Beyond and whatever elements of Dark Knight Returns they didn't touch on in Dark Knight Rises to some extent or another. But like, again, I admire the consistency. I just don't see this happening anytime soon, especially since Christopher Nolan is just not on talking terms with Warner Brothers at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a big point of this, right? But I mean, the fact that Variety is talking about it, that's where it just, I don't know, man. I look at this and I sit here and think to myself, okay, look, I liked Christian Bale as Batman, but like you said, his story came to an end. He's either one of two things, right? And this has been debated by nerds now for the last 10 years, right? Like if he's actually dead, or if he actually was there when Alfred saw him, right? And he got away, right? Whatever. But either way, Robin.
Enos, you should use your real name, Robin.
Oh, my middle name's Paul. So I'll just go.
Well,
by Paul.
Should use that more often, okay?
Okay, it'd probably be easier for people, right? But if I win as Paul though, then at least this way, like if people are on a show and they say Enosh, everybody knows who you're talking about, good, bad, and different. If they want to bitch about me, they know to talk about Enosh. If they want to praise me, they know to talk about Enosh. If they just said Paul, there's a lot of dickweeds out there named Paul.
Yeah. Any old dick could be named Paul.
That's true.
I mean, there's a lot of jerks out there named Paul. There's a lot of good people out there named Paul. But I mean, there's a lot of wannabes out there named Paul. There's a lot. But
if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends.
Oh, but yeah, no, so like, so my point about this is yeah, it's like, so if you bring him back, like, what's his name, is already like he's supposed to be fulfilling the role, right? I mean, that's what it's insinuated at the end.
He's Nightwing. Yeah. At that point.
Yeah, something like that, right? So I mean, are you bringing back Batman for some reason? Like, why would you have to bring him back to do, like you said, Phil, Batman Begins thing or whatever? Like if you already got a Robin, or I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know what kind of story you do after such a trilogy capper that was The Dark Knight Rises. I guess that would be the best way to say it.
And you don't want to do a movie based within that timeline. You know, because you can't do a movie between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
You can't.
No.
You just can't. And there's only limited time between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
There's like a 6 month to a year time span between the two. So yeah, you're right. And they also kind of covered it with Batman Gotham Knight, which they did, which was like an animated movie told across 6 different animated mediums that loosely takes place during that time frame. So I don't know what you do.
I don't know.
They might call it The Dark Knight Returns. That would make the Emperor most proud. Yes. Yes. Bring back Bale.
Sorry.
Vader will kill Christian Bale Batman.
Yeah, probably.
Or the God Butcher begs to differ.
Yeah.
Brian brings up a very fair point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Listen, Christopher, listen. The only way I see this happen if Aslaf is like, yo, Christopher Nolan, bro, I'm going to give you the money and do it.
Touche,
Here it is, guys. Here you guys go. All right, Chris, here you go. We'll give you your Batman.
Yes.
But it's going to be on streaming.
Wow.
How do you like them apples?
Gosh,
and guess what? It's not even a 2-hour, 45-minute movie. You get a 6-episode limited series.
Yes, at 45 minutes apiece. Read it and weep.
How many Batman are we going to get at one time?
That's it's going to be question. Batman Kenobi. What are you talking about, dude?
So I'm working. So I'm going to give you guys a little taste.
We're going to get the Force Ghost of Ra's al Ghul. Bro. I'm sorry.
Hey, Brian, could you do me a little favor here, buddy? Okay. Can you look right here, my friend? There we go.
What?
Make you forget all about that.
What did I say?
I forget where I am currently.
No. I was gonna flashy thing you.
Oh, you did. All right.
Yeah. So we can forget all about the idea of even doing that.
That's illegal in 48 states, just so you know.
Flashy thing you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, it
requires consent.
We already got 3 Batman, Batman
2 Batman
existing.
In the Flash.
Right. Like, do we really need to be talking to him about coming back for this? I mean, is this really a conversation the Variety needs to be having of all outlets? But I mean, it says Christian Bale hasn't shut the door completely on playing Bruce Wayne Batman for a 4th time on the big screen. There's just one stipulation: Christopher Nolan must direct. The Oscar-winning actor recently told Screen Rant that he'd put on the Dark Knight's cape once more as long as Nolan's back in the directorship. Well, it makes more sense, Screen Rant asking that question. It makes less sense, though, Variety reporting something Screen Rant asked him.
Nolan is weird.
Yeah, Nolan directed Bale in 3 Batman movies, obviously, with the last 2 both grossing over $1 billion. No one's ever mentioned it to me. No one's brought it up, Bale said when asked about reprising Batman. Occasionally, people say to me, "Oh, I hear you were approached and offered all this," and I'm like, "That's news to me. No one's ever said that." I had a pact with Chris Nolan, Bale added. We said, "Hey, look, let's make 3 films. If we're lucky enough to get to do that. And then let's walk away. Let's not linger too long. In my mind, it would be something if Chris Nolan ever said to himself, you know what? I've got another story to tell. And if he wished to tell that story with me, I'd be in." So.
And don't Joss Whedon's Justice League. It's all bad.
And he still says that he hasn't seen the Batman. So.
He's got a really good reason for not seeing that movie, though.
I don't blame him. That movie sucks.
Enosh, but apparently the Batman is a flop.
Damn it, Brian.
I love you, Brian.
Enosh, have you heard that the Batman is a flop?
I've heard that.
It kind of is, dude. Freaking Maverick's kicking its ass, dude.
To be fair, Maverick is kicking everyone's ass at the box office.
Sure,
yeah.
it's over.
But we knew that, though. Yeah, we kind of knew that, though.
It's
suits
funny.
My narrative when that movie doesn't do well. Marvel. Okay?
It's
Come
it's
on.
so funny because a certain group of people told me that Top Gun Maverick wouldn't even clear 750 million, and now it's at $1 billion. That's so funny to me.
Meh.
It's gonna hit 3 billion by next year. No problem.
Watch it make more money than Avatar 2. Shame.
No, I don't think that would
I'd
happen.
laugh.
Oh my
Dude, guys,
gosh, I'd be. Oh,
people are
I'd be so happy.
overestimating what Avatar 2 is going to do, guys.
Say that again, Brian, please. Just say that one more time.
People are overestimating what Avatar 2 is going to do. Dude, first off, what are they going to do? Like, are they going to like blow smoke up our nostrils and other places just so we can be like, hey guys, this is a new theatrical experience. That's why people went and saw the first Avatar movie. It's hasn't changed in all those years.
But Brian, the special effects, Brian.
Oh God,
haven't changed in all those years.
No, but Brian, here's the thing: they shot it underwater.
Okay. All right, and that means what to me?
It means shit. Fuck all. Is what it means.
Yeah, exactly.
It means shit. Fuck all. And let's also just clarify something here too. Names attached directors don't mean jack shit anymore at the box office. I'm sorry.
Really.
James Cameron, dude, you put Titanic back at how many times at the box office just to try and stay top dog? And how's that working out for you?
Yeah, it don't work.
They're putting Avatar back in theaters again in September. If it doesn't make a whole butt ton of money, I won't be surprised because people look at that movie now and go, oh, yeah, cool. And people every time I saw Top Gun Maverick and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, every time the Avatar trailer played, silence.
I disagree. My theater was clapping when
because nobody. Philip, look, here's why. Because nobody cared. Okay, here's the thing. Nobody. People say when the people who did. Everybody went to go see it. Okay, I went to go see it, but I sat there bored out of my mind, going, okay. I hate 3D movies, sitting there with 3D glasses on going, okay, it looks cool and all, but you know, what's the story here? Like, there was no exciting, compelling story. Like, it wasn't like it changed. Like you can talk to people who were there now and like, well, what was it about? It was like about nature and stuff. And
native and people invading their nature.
Yeah, but like if people got that though, if people got that, a lot of people would just have been like, well, like they attach their tails to stuff and like the dude became one of the avatars. Like they don't even know what they're called, right? They'll call them the avatars, right? And here's the thing: the toys didn't do anything. Nobody gave a crap about the toys. Nobody like it's not like that it's an enriching story that is stuck with everybody and everybody's just like, oh my god,
itself out at the end. Like it did. Like
it didn't need a sequel.
No.
What are we going to look back and go like, oh, all these years later, he's still there? Like
this is
like George Lucas. He meant to write it.
Meanwhile, you got Maverick over here. You got Top Gun coming in here like so people are like, oh, it's a 40-year-old movie. It's not going to do really well. They're going to show you what 40-year-olds are going to do. Here comes Top Gun up here like this.
You might not like it, but this is what the peak male athletic form looks like.
Damn straight.
Tom Cruise out here at 59 showing everyone up like
listen. Like Top Gun hit $1 billion, amazing. Tom Cruise, congratulations. Your first movie hitting that in your career, that's crazy, but okay. I mean, listen, if Avatar could do $1 billion, sure. I mean, we don't know until December, I believe it. Yeah, it's whatever. Who knows if we will not. And plus, we're releasing China, so China will help it more. It's like how China helped Aquaman in the first place.
Anthony, I need you to do me a favor, bro. I need you to go to the store, to the Poindexter Lounge store, and pick out 3 shirts. I owe you 3 shirts, man. I need you to tell me which 3 shirts to send you because I can't remember which ones I sent you already. So, or I know it's warm down there, so I don't know if you wear hoodies down there, or a hoodie and a shirt. So let me know, bro. Let me know. But yeah, no, integrity brings up a good point, right? So like I usually see Batman. Well, he's talking about Batman. He saw the Batman once, but saw Top Gun, twice. Nat says Avatar 2 will be shown in 4DD. Now.
Okay, I'm going where are we going with this?
You show it in double D. You show it in 4DD. I think it's gonna. Is that premiering right after the Herogasm version of
Harley Quinn?
Harley Quinn
going down. Yep.
It's going down. Is that one of the is?
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Is that one of the titles for one of the next Avatar movies? Avatar 4DD. Avatar going down in 4DD.
Hold on to your butts.
It's funny you mention that because they have like 3 or 4 sequels lined up after the second one anyway, and it's just like, dude, if you were gonna do this, you should have done it 10 years ago after you made the first one, not 13 years after the fact when there's been a giant superhero movie boom, and also now that Tom Cruise is literally showcasing how much he can dominate the box office. I'm sorry, like this is not a Star Wars Jurassic Park comparison. Like, the only thing that has a sliver of profitability to this entire movie is the fact that James Cameron's name is attached to it. But as we've seen over the last few years, also, we're still in a pandemic. Let's not forget that. And it's still kind of lightweight affecting the way people watch movies, not the box office, but the way people watch movies and how people are like, man, I'll just wait for it to hit streaming. That's exactly what's going to happen to Avatar. People are going to be like, I'm going to wait.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that just because you know what? I think that if Avatar has anything going for it, it is the James Cameron scenario, where it's hard to count James Cameron out because he usually surprises every time that he comes in with something. So we don't know what it's going to look like yet. But I swear to God, but I swear to God, that's the only thing that movie has possibly going for it, is the potential that it looks amazing and people just go to see it just to like gawk at it, right? And because nobody cares about the freaking story. Nobody gives a crap that it's underwater. Nobody gives a crap that anything to do with the story. I'm sorry, I just don't. It wasn't a cultural phenomenon like Star Wars was, where Star Wars wasn't something that people just went, oh my God, look at it. It was like, oh my God, look at it. And what an amazing story. And we love all the characters. I mean, like, what was the guy's name?
He's played by Sam Worthington. That's all I remember.
Right.
Jake Sully. Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, okay, because like Marcus here says, you are all underestimating Avatar 2. I'm with Brian. The world of Avatar was very unique.
No, I was saying that I think people are overestimating how it's going to do. It's not going to do very well because unless they're going to like jam us all into motion simulator rides with 3D glasses and sense, dude. I've seen video games look the same now, dude. Like, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 months, 7 months, 6 or 7, whatever. Okay. I mean, into it. I mean, Shazam. Rest in peace to Shazam box office.
Oh yeah, that's the problem, right? I know it's gonna do okay. I know it's gonna do good. It's gonna make money.
Sure,
because people are telling it to.
And China's gonna help it. China's gonna help Avatar just like they did with the first one. So like, it's just, God damn, they fucked that Shazam release. They should have just
twice.
I don't know why. Twice. I'm sorry.
First time in 2019, now again in 2022.
Yeah,
that just ain't fair.
Why is WB? I feel bad for them.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
I like Shazam. Shazam was a good movie.
But here's the thing. Shazam 2 is probably in the same budget ballpark as the first one. No more than $120 million. It's going to be on through Christmas weekend and into New Year's.
And 45 days too.
I can promise you, since children like superheroes, maybe a little bit more than sci-fi. Again, that's all dependent on the story that you're telling. But more often than not, the hot commodity at the moment is superheroes. And Shazam, despite not really clearing $500 million, it's still really well received with audiences. And I'm sure if those kids who saw the first one, because I can guarantee you, when I saw Shazam 2 weeks early before it even came out, before Endgame and all this shit, there were a lot of kids in my theater. They were clapping, they were cheering, they were having a great time. I promise you, it's going to have a repeat audience, and it's probably going to give Avatar a run for its money in those 2 to 3 weeks that they release.
Yeah, so I think parents are going to take them to see both, regardless of what happened.
Oh, I don't know about
with
that.
both movies.
You're asking parents to spend a whole buttload of money at the movie theater for 2 different movies, and I don't know if that's going to be viable during Christmas time.
They got the money. If parents got it, they got the money to see both. Who knows? I mean, listen. I mean, Shazam might do well. I mean, you're gonna get a third sequel regardless. So what happens? So.
Well, here's the thing, though. Shazam also has the built-in synergy from Black Adam releasing 2.5 months before it.
If it's a
okay, can we talk about something then real quick, because I know that Philip's got to get going. I got but here, so when we were on the vodka stream the other night, something was brought up that I had never really even thought of, and it speaks to Warner Brothers' failure once again. And we're getting ready to talk about a win that I mean they had just today, where for the first time in first of all, I'll just share that we had a win. We're on our way to 1,000 followers on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, please go follow us on TikTok, because we need 1,000 followers to go live over on TikTok. So please go support Poindexter Lounge over on TikTok. We're just at Poindexter Lounge. We bumped up another 100 in like 2 days. So that's awesome. Yeah, like I sat there at like 200, man, and then literally in the last 2 weeks we've gained 500 like followers. So that's freaking awesome. So thank you to everyone who's following us there, but follow us there. And it's also actually helped the thing here. Now, this was weird. I took a snapshot of this, and for some reason it didn't take the picture for some reason, which I don't know why, but it didn't. But here we go. Warner Brothers, yes, it's WB Home Entertainment, but they actually promoted the digital release of Zack Snyder's Justice League on July 19th. Which confused a lot of people, because a lot of people thought that it was already released digitally, but it's not.
It's the code? Yeah.
Yeah, it's only been released
physically
on HBO digitally, HBO Max digitally, and so or on Blu-ray, 4K, whatnot, in the box sets, right? So this is a win for Warner Brothers, and to that, hey. We say enough when Warner Brothers gets something wrong.
Good job.
It doesn't undo a lot of the crap that's happened over the last year or so, 2 years, whatever, or further back if you count 2017's Justice League. But hey, this is the first time that they've actually officially promoted this like this.
Well, remember when Warner Brothers blacklisted Justice League on the YouTube page, and people was like, "Why are you not releasing that?"
Yeah, but the reason why I say this is because of this, because this is something I didn't think of, right? Because look, they have dropped the ball on so many things. There are 3 movies this year, 3 that have to do with Shazam. Did you know that?
Yeah.
3 Warner Brothers films that have to do with Shazam: Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Black Adam,
right,
and a movie that is in theaters right now, Elvis.
What? Good point.
I have not seen Elvis, but those who have all talked to me about the fact, my son included, have talked to me about the fact they heavily get into the lore of the fact that Elvis was a huge Captain Marvel fan.
Captain Marvel Jr.
Yeah, and not the chick flying around these days, as Captain.
No, the original Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Captain Marvel Jr.
Yeah. And here's something that I didn't even know. Elvis is a distant cousin to me, okay? And I didn't even know this, man. Like, I love Elvis. I grew up in Vegas, people know that. So like I'm very well, but I did not know this. The fact that he wears a short cape is because of Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's talked about. It's talked about in the movie apparently, and multiple times they reference the Rock of Eternity. And they talk about Captain Marvel a ton apparently in the movie.
Did WB distribute Elvis?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
that tracks.
So, how do you miss the opportunity? Apparently, Black Adam screened with like the trailer screened at the beginning of Elvis, right, for theaters.
That makes
But
sense.
how do you not cross promote that? Like to say, hey, like as like just something like like Elvis loves Shazam, so that should be in the at least by the end of the year that should be in their promo stuff for that movie. You know what I mean? Or something. I don't know, man. Like do something. I mean, you got 3 movies. You got a biopic that like connects with that, and you got 2 movies coming out in that world. Like make it work. Like put that stuff together, man.
I think it would be incredibly foolish for WB to go to San Diego Comic-Con and not show off Shazam Fury of the Gods for everyone and to see in their mighty, because the movie by that point will be 6 months away from release, and Black Adam will be right around the corner. DC Super Pets will literally be weeks away from releasing. And if you're going to showcase a DC movie, animated or otherwise, it would be in their best interest to build hype starting as soon as possible, even if it's just a teaser. I mean, you can show the Black Adam trailer all damn day, every day, and it's been pretty well received.
I'll be right back in just a second. Yeah, go keep on that.
I was just gonna say, like, it would just be in their best interest to showcase something for Shazam, probably sooner rather than later, especially with Elvis getting as much goodwill garnered towards it, because I've seen nothing bad said about it at all, whatsoever. It would just truly be in their best interest to showcase something for Shazam in the next few weeks.
Yeah, no, it's true.
They had to, but then again, when the reports is that they don't know what they're showing us, like, get your shit together, Warner Brothers. Like, come on. Like,
I mean, they very well could just be saying that just to throw the media off their scent. They very well could have a rough idea of what they're showing. They could know exactly what they're showing. They just don't want us to know about it yet.
Well, that's fair.
Because I mean,
that's kind of
San Diego Comic-Con's. What days is it taking place? Like late July?
July something. Probably maybe 26 maybe or something. I don't know.
All I know is they need to do something. I, for one, am losing faith and losing interest as far as content from DC is concerned.
So I wanted to say to Nat. So Nat says he's coming to us from Tupelo, Mississippi. My grandmother, my great grandma, were from Mississippi. My grandmother was born in Boonesville, and my grandmother found out that we were cousins to Elvis because all her cousins used to go up to visit Elvis. She thought that they were a bunch of groupies when she was a teenager, and my grandma was never an Elvis girl. She was never really into Elvis. Even when she moved out to Vegas in the late 60s, my grandmother dated Engelbert Humperdinck, okay? And managed bands and stuff and groups and everything. She'd met Elvis and everything, but she was never a real big Elvis fan. And it wasn't until the 90s that we had a family member die. They all came up to Michigan. They transported her from Mississippi, so a lot of our family from Mississippi came up. And this old 95-year-old guy was talking about Elvis and like kept going on and on and on. And my grandma said, why is it that everybody keeps talking about Elvis? Because like she heard several conversations, and this 95-year-old man looks at her and goes, well, Betty, he's your cousin. And my grandma goes, wait, what? And sure enough, like, he's a distant cousin. It's not like he's like super close or anything, but But it is what it is. I want to welcome a couple of people in. First of all the way from Australia, from all the way down under, we got Mr. Axel. What's up, Axel?
Hey, what's up?
Welcome back, sir. And then all the way from Las Vegas, from beautiful Las Vegas, of course, proprietor of the Sci-Fi Center out there, and old man extraordinaire, Mr. William. What's going on, guys?
What's going on? What have I missed?
And look there, Nat. We got something in common, my friend. So, but yeah, I just don't understand why they wouldn't, why they wouldn't try to. Hey, William.
Yeah.
When you're not talking, you may want to. You got a lot of air going on, like airy noise going on. So you may want to mute when you're not talking.
Yeah,
but feel free to unmute, dude, whenever you have something to say, because we don't want you to not talk. It's not bad that if you talk, just that's all I'm saying. I just don't understand why they, I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting thing about the Elvis movie, because if they're talking about that in the Elvis movie, use it somehow to your advantage, man. Make it part of your marketing, I don't know.
That'd be cool. Talking about WB who are fucking retarded. So.
Wow.
Well,
the views and opinions expressed by panelists are not those of Poindexter Lounge.
Black Noir put it. Black Noir put it best. Do you remember? So because I put this one up there. Which was this? I used to say Brian because Brian said something funny, and then I did that Jennifer Lopez thing. So the views stated are those of Jennifer Lopez. They do not necessarily reflect those of the Poindexter Lounge or its guests, but we love her.
It's true.
But yeah, no, I hope that Shazam gets it together, right? I hope that Shazam gets it together, but I feel like it's just going to get destroyed. It's going to get destroyed at the box office, man.
And I hope they and fast track the third movie because the kids are growing up. Like, Jesus Christ. They're going to be like 50 by the time the kids get.
When you say destroyed, how much money do you think it's going to make?
I don't know, man. I'm worried. I'm worried only because it's Avatar, because I just don't rule out Avatar. That's the only problem. I know last time the movie came, well, no, that was Aquaman that went up against
Mary Poppins.
And that, but Mary Poppins was a horrible film too. Like, it was not good, right?
So seeing Mary Poppins like 80 years after the fact.
Well, the bigger irony is Aquaman had the luxury of actually having Julia Andrews in the movie. Mary Poppins did not.
Hey guys, I'm gonna take off. I gotta get to
Brian and I have adult things to do, but it was funny.
Whoa, hey now. Tomorrow. Whoa, y'all
that
have your
no, I do have adulting to do tomorrow. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Take it easy.
All right.
Bye. Why does it always? Oh, that's
what was that? I don't know what that was. No, but William, to answer your question though, I just don't know that it's going to have, like, it may do well, like if everybody goes and sees Avatar, as long as Avatar isn't like some like global sensation that just like blows up, you know what I mean? Like, if it's just a movie that kind of comes and goes, then we may have something where, by early January, Avatar passes off, and maybe if Shazam is really, really good, right? And somehow they gotta tie into it from Black Adam, though. I feel like they gotta make it an event where it's like, you saw Black Adam with The Rock, right? We're throwing our chips in with these two movies, man, because they're connected. Because I think that there's some people who don't, the average person probably doesn't even understand yet that Black Adam is related to Shazam. So
I mean, they must have some idea because it's the same symbols and stuff. And
yeah, but a lot of people don't pay attention to that, dude. They see the bright red outfit, you know what I mean? And plus it's different, it's a little different. I mean, because the Flash has a lightning bolt, right? So there's a lot of people who don't. There's a lot of people who don't pay attention to that. There's been several. I say that only because there's been people that I've talked to, and I'm like, well, the Black Adam movie is related to Shazam, and people have gone, really? And I'm like, well, yeah, he was the champion that was mentioned in the first one, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, that guy, I guess that silhouette thing did look like, him.
I wear the emblem around my chest around hundreds of people at events.
Yes, we know.
And most people don't know who it is. The biggest
Shazam,
problem Shazam has, regardless to Avatar, you can take Avatar off the schedule. The biggest problem that Shazam has is that it's Shazam. It's just not a high-end property that people know. The first one was really, really good.
Absolutely.
It didn't make that much money. I don't think there's no place that you could really release it in the current DC lexicon that it's going to make any more money than it was going to make, period. It's Shazam. It's
also had the 45-day release date.
It could have a 90-day release date. It's Shazam.
What about though if you released it in January sometime?
It's
after
Shazam.
the holidays.
It doesn't change the fact that it's not Superman. It's not a mainline character.
Okay.
And you're releasing it in an environment where you have not done enough to where B and C characters can flourish like this.
Well, yeah, there's that part. Okay, I thought you were saying that it doesn't matter where you release it. I do think, but when you're talking about losses, though, don't you mitigate your loss? Like if you're saying that, I get what you're saying. I totally agree with that. But don't you think that like when you put it up against like one of like what some people are calling this like massively anticipated film, as opposed to.
That's actually smart. Yeah, that gives it more hope to make money.
Just counter programming?
Well, no, because you're releasing it at a time where people are going to movies, period. And usually during that time period, you go to multiple movies. That is the one time a year where people average 3 theater visits for a 3.5-week period, which is a lot. When you think about it, that many theater visits, that's a lot. So you're basically putting your movie in the same pool as any of those movies. That's actually good. That's not a bad thing for Shazam. It's good. That actually helps the fact, mitigate the fact that it's Shazam. The only other way you could mitigate any other losses that Shazam might get you is by not making it at all. And that's too late. It's already made.
Yeah.
So it's Shazam. But like I said, you want to be in the same. It's just like when you throw a big concert and you got the guy with the bootleg T-shirts out there because nobody wants to pay $50 for the Rolling Stone T-shirt inside the arena, but you got that guy outside who's selling it for about 15 or 30, and it's a really kick-ass Rolling Stone T-shirt. That guy's going to make a lot of money. People are going to buy from that guy, and that's what Shazam is to Avatar. Shazam's not going to be hurt by Avatar. Avatar is going to bring people to the theaters and get them into that environment. And if Shazam is there, hey, they might even see it on the same day. I know some people who go see
that's
movies.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, matinees, because it's Christmas break. Matinees, they might go see a movie in the afternoon, and they might see another one late at night because they're already there. So Shazam will benefit from Avatar. It won't be hurt by Avatar.
I think Shazam might do maybe 300 or 400, maybe.
And that's what it should do.
Yeah.
If it does more than 450, that's great. That's phenomenal. There should be people popping champagne. It's a $500 million movie at best. That's what the first one did. And it's Shazam. Now, if we were talking about like Shazam in the middle of after we've just had this massive ride on a Justice League arc or a Superman arc or something like that, now we have the particles are charged in the atmosphere for us, and then we release Shazam, then you could expect a little bit more and you could put a little bit more weight on it. But there's nothing going on right now, and Shazam is not a big enough character to make that something,
Oh, yeah, so I found this edit.
Oh my god, that looks terrible. Jesus.
It doesn't look too bad. I like the ears and stuff.
I kind of like the ears.
Yeah, the ears look pretty good.
The hair makes him look weird though.
Yeah,
because
that one is accurate, but it's actually a detriment because you don't pay all that money for The Rock not to look like The Rock. You sacrifice an accuracy because you have that famous head. So,
bro, it's like every time I see the Black Adam trailer, it's like I just see The Rock. That's it. I don't see
that. Is it?
That's good. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, that is probably what every marketing person in WP wants you to hear right now.
Except he's not wearing khakis, so yeah, or khakis.
Yeah. More people are going to know who The Rock is than will ever know who Black Adam is. You will have people leaving Black Adam after they've seen it, still not knowing or caring what Black Adam is.
There was this lady next to me when I was watching. What was it? Was it Doctor Strange? Oh no! I was at another movie I saw. And they're like, oh, that's Pierre Rosman. And I was like, oh yes, it was. And stuff like that. It's like they know him by the actor, but they don't know their characters. It's just like, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, so 500 million would be great, but like I said, it doesn't matter. The Avatar being released in the same area actually helps it, not hurt it. But it's going to make roughly what it's going to make. It's just that kind of movie, and that's not a failure. It's just
sure. Look, if Black Adam only makes maybe 650, which is fine because that's The Rock. Most Rock movie doesn't do that much.
If Black Adam makes 7, here's another more obscure IP in
I'll say
Black Adam.
650. Yeah.
Nobody knows who the hell this is. So if you were to put any other actor in Black Adam's role, you're talking possibly a box office bomb. So if it makes 750, that means it's probably 90% The Rock bringing that in. And when people say, well, it's not going to make $1 billion, if without him, without his name on it, it's making nothing. So
I'm gonna say maybe around
without
5 or 6.
are you talking about? What are you talking about?
If you put another actor in there that's not the level of The Rock, you're flirting with a box office bomb when it comes to Black Adam. Nobody knows who Black Adam is. There's not that many people with the kind of notoriety. You have a handful of people. You could probably pick about 3 to 5 people that could make up for that obscurity. But without that person, you're flirting with a box office bomb.
I agree. I think the other important thing though to that would probably be that you would need to you wouldn't be able to get away with putting in some obscure characters that are in that movie. You know what I mean? Like
you got Hawkman, Dr. Fate.
And not every movie, not every smash hit is gonna have like really famous actors.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I think that, like, for that, you would almost have to change your story because it's got Hawkman, it's got Dr. Fate, and it's got who else? Atom Smasher.
Cyclone. Who the fuck is that? Nobody
and Cyclone. Knows. Like, I don't think you could get away with like Cyclone and Atom Smasher.
Well, yeah,
maybe Hawkman. You know, maybe Hawkman. And maybe Dr. Fate, you know, but I mean Dr. Fate even is kind of a fringe, but we know who Dr. Fate is, and I love Dr. Fate as a character. I love Dr. Fate. He's a good but you know what I mean? Like I think that you would have to I think you'd really have to like put some more firepower in there if you put more of an unknown in there. Yes, and Cherie, yes, we are nerds talking about this. Yeah, because nobody knows who Atom Smasher and Cyclone are.
Atom Smasher looks like a Pepsi man. Not gonna lie.
He looks like an old Pepsi commercial. He does.
If you look at his mask,
that's a great one, Axel. That's a great callback. I had forgotten all about that. Holy crap! You're right. You're right. And not only that, but like with the face of Deadpool.
Yes.
So it looks unoriginal. So it looks very unoriginal, unfortunately.
And you could tell his character is CGI with like the way that when he gets tall, like he's walking between. I hope they fix that, but probably will. Well, the only in Dr. Fate 2, the only real thing is the helmet. The suit is entire CGI. Because I know Pierce Brosnan is old, obviously, so that makes sense.
I wonder what their goals are. I wonder what Warner Brothers' new regime's goals are for this movie. Because, like I said, 700 would be like phenomenal for this movie. That would be like
650. Who knows?
650 would be phenomenal for this movie. This is not, like I said, based on what it is. You're having one guy carry a bunch of obscure IPs to that mark. That would be phenomenal, you know. And hopefully, as things goes along, we won't have this kind of universe to where we're relying on it that way. But that's what they've done. That's what we have. So. But like I said, I think it would be a testament. I mean, people have their opinion about The Rock one way or another, but business is business. If that movie hits that mark with a bunch of cardboard no names that nobody outside of the geekosphere knows, that's gonna be a trophy for him.
The only 2 actors that are good in the movie is Pierce Brosnan and the guy who played Hawkman. That's it.
And also Pierce Brosnan. Let's be honest. So I know who Pierce Brosnan is. A lot of people on this, obviously, everybody on this panel does. But what kind of movies is Pierce Brosnan been in outside of James Bond? Though that the general audience,
I think a lot more people know who Pierce Brosnan is than you're giving.
Is it enough? A lot more, and is it enough? You see what I mean? Is it going to move the needle?
For this point in his career, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I think he's one of those people, that makes sense to bring into a superhero movie.
He's someone that one of your parents would recognize. Like,
for sure. He's old enough, and he's old enough in his career though that I think that people do recognize him, and they do recognize him for being, James Bond. So I do think that we got to give him credit for that, to know that he does have
he does have enough of a following. I mean, I wouldn't put him, like, I'm not going to cast him as like your main star, but you know, like, people know who Pierce Brosnan is.
He mostly the
Thomas
second.
Confair was good. That was 25 years ago.
Oh, I know.
It's just like I said. This movie, I hope.
But there's still people though, dude, who play GoldenEye still though, dude.
Yeah, I thought he was before Daniel Craig. He was my favorite Bond. Die Another Day was my favorite movie, my favorite Bond movie before Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Solace is actually Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace, because it's the first two Bond movies that were back to back. Every other Bond movie had a separate plot and had an ending and beginning. Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. Quantum of Solace wraps up seconds after Casino Royale, and I love that movie. So, and I never thought I'd like Daniel Craig. Because when I saw it, I'm like, this is a joke, and I'm like, this is the best Bond. And then right behind it is Pierce Brosnan. But like I said, I recognize Pierce Brosnan's weight, but it's like I said, $650 to $700 million. That would be phenomenal for this movie. But I think if it makes that kind of money, you're going to have people like, oh, it didn't do this, it didn't do that. I'm like,
and you could have spin-offs, like, for example, Dr.
Don't underestimate him. He was the boyfriend of Mrs. Doubtfire.
He was. It was like,
and
let's
then
say,
Black Noir.
And Black Noir is absolutely right. Black Noir is absolutely right here.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that's one of the best comments of the night, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I think the Justice Society hasn't been done right yet. And this might be the first time, but it's
we did get that animated film. Right.
Yeah, nobody saw that.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, it's if you look at it this way, if they can pull off the Justice Society right, I mean, but that's just going to call into question. People, as soon as they see the Justice Society, I've already had people ask me, "Is that the Justice League?" I'm like, "Well, no," and then let me explain. So there's a lot of information that I hope that they put out to get people excited about this.
How do you explain Justice Society in this world?
Yeah, I don't. That's what I've been confused. Like, is this going to be set in the past or something? Because
if you look at the trailers,
past.
Yeah, you look at the trailers. I may have missed something. You guys can point this out. I saw things that were, Justice Society, that weren't necessarily in the contemporary time. And everything that I saw in the contemporary time, the modern times, I didn't see them around. I didn't analyze it, broke it down to the piece, so they could break this up. But there are ways that the Justice Society could be in the present day. They did it a lot back in the 60s. And back in, when they introduced the Justice League as the premier team, they did have them do a lot of crossovers, even though they were coming from different times. But there's ways to do it. But I don't think that's what they're doing here. I think he comes in, he comes into that era, and then he finds a way into our modern era. But either way, they could. And if they did it, they don't have any narrative anchor to really hold on to, because 90% of the people who are going to go see this movie are not going to know the 40s and the 30s and the 40s era Justice Society origins. They're just going to see They're just going to see what's on the screen, and that's what they're going to grab onto.
Do you think it's going to hurt them, the fact that in that trailer, I've heard a lot of people, and I didn't really catch on this like at first, but now I'm seeing people talking about how he's that there was a lot of Iron Man kind of like similarities, like when he flies between the jets and stuff like that, and I've heard people like kind of mocking it a little bit for that reason, and I was I
don't think it'll hurt it at all. The general audience, that's the kind of stuff that appeals to them, period. Whether no matter who does it and how many times it does, those are things that appeal to people. People love jets. People love seeing people love flying superheroes. They love jets. They love explosions. Those are basic things that no matter how many times people do them and how many times it looks like the last guy who did it, people love it. Just the basic, normal, general audience, blow up TNA guy, he loves that stuff. Now, us analytical guys are going to be like, yeah, look that's Iron Man again. Or every time somebody lands and does a slow-mo cam, that's the same thing that they did in this movie. But the 3% that make up that noise aren't really what they're going for. They're going for the main audience who's going to love this. They're just hitting on all the bullet points. So, no, I don't think it'll hurt at all, to answer your question.
I just wish they introduced. Man, I wish they would have Jay Garrick. Because they're missing a lot of JSA characters in the movie. I wish they had Jay Garrick and of Alan Scott, but it's whatever. You know?
Well, you got to realize this movie was made at a time where you had a lot of territorial pissings going on about those particular IPs, Green Lanterns and Flash, and they wouldn't let people do things. If this movie had been made under the new regime, you probably would have gotten that. But remember, look how many projects we got shut down because some nutcase over here didn't want a certain character being used in this, and a certain one nutcase over there didn't want their character being used this because they had future plans. So this movie was being made into that atmosphere, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, it does suck.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I just wish it was a speech.
If it's in present day, gosh, I don't know, man. How do you explain the Justice League's not in it? And again,
well, because
if it's in the past, how do you explain that Wonder Woman's not? I mean, like, I get it that she kind of left or whatnot. I mean, I know she wasn't doing anything or whatever, but still, yeah. I mean, it's just
the same way you did it in the comics. And if they really wanted to do this, they really could. The Justice League and Black Adam, not Justice League, Justice Society, Black Adam, all those characters exist on a completely different world, but they are aware of the world that the Justice League is in. And they did like Earth 1 or 2 or Prime, all that was created back then because when the Justice Society came out, they came out at the height of when comics were first being printed. But then after that, comics took a nosedive, and that's why there was no Justice Society. There was no sales in comics. And then in the 60s, there was a resurgence. And that's where you got the Avengers, Fantastic Four, Justice League, and all that. But you had Superman basically reintroduced, but he existed back in the 40s already. So you had Earth 1, you had Earth 2. It's the same thing that they wrote the Crisis to kind of solve, which was laughable. But you could explain the fact that there's no Justice League in the Justice Society world because they hadn't existed yet. They're existing in two parallel worlds at two different times, but they do meet because they would have the annual crossover. It was a big thing back in the 60s, JSA versus JLA, and then they would meet. And as you saw the Crisis, you saw that older Superman with the graying temples that came from that world confronting the Superman, our contemporary Superman, and then they were all merged. So if they wanted to take the time to take 5 minutes and tell that story, they would tell that story at the end of Black Adam because eventually he's going to become aware of these other worlds. He has that capacity. The Justice Society knows of the world that the Justice League exists in.
I don't think they'll explain it. I don't think that.
They probably won't, but they could. If they wanted to maximize the revenue and money and excitement that all their existing IPs, without having to spend another dollar, without having to go do one more minute of work, they would explain that. Because that would make everything that they've ever done relevant and everything that they're ever going to do even more relevant. And it will make it new again.
Okay, so here's what I found. This is in like the trailer and stuff. And kind of looks similar to that. Like that concept piece. So I'm thinking... is this like intergang tech? Is this intergang tech?
Intergang? Yeah, intergang, yeah.
Yeah. That's just an idea I had. Like when I first saw it, and yeah.
Laser Luke kind of brought up kind of what you were just saying. What if Black Adam and the Justice Society exist in their own universe, and Justice League only exists in the Snyderverse? So it's possible Dr. Fate might enter the portal with Black Adam, and they'll meet Superman.
Yeah, that's exactly what they could do. And then if they did want to lead all this towards an end event with Crisis so they can consolidate what they want to have and continue what they would have archived, then that's how they could do it. That's the perfect way to do it.
If The Rock is smart, which...
Well, if WB Discovery is smart, because remember, this isn't just about his movie. They can use this movie to polarize everything that's been done and make it relevant again. And then when you each of these movies come out, see, the reason why there needs to be a shared universe, I always hear people say, they need to make standalone movies and standalone the way. I laugh. I want to walk up to them and laugh as loud as I can. If you want to make money, you got to do the shared universe. You can have these standalones.
And if you were to do that, what would that sound like?
Just me laughing very loud in somebody's face.
Yeah, I'm just like,
you're not going to get me.
Get us into that feeling of like what that would sound like for William to walk up to somebody and laugh in their face.
I am not going to be immortalized in a drop right now.
I'm not asking you to immortalize yourself in a drop. I'm asking you to tell us how.
No, it would just be me. It would just be you. More than laughing, it would be an understanding of. each time you make these movies, it's two things make money: anticipation and
Sorry, folks,
continuity.
it's all talk.
Well, that's anyway. But
he's not laughing in anybody's face, ladies and gentlemen. He's
figuratively, I would be laughing because
he's putting up a big talk right now. Is what William is doing. That's what we called it back in the old days. A big talk. No laugh.
When you walk out of Black Adam, you should be excited for the very next movie you're rolling into, right? And that's what they haven't done yet. And the volume of money that these guys want to make as far as revenue, you can't make that in standalones. Standalones do wonders for that particular franchise or trilogy of movies over the course of 5 years. These guys want a lot of money, and they want it quick, and they want it in volume, and you can't do that with standalone movies. You know, you can do it if you have 2 to 3 movies, up to 4 movies in a calendar year, because by the time you get to that 3rd or 4th movie, you're not spending hundreds of millions of dollars on ads. You're not spending all this effort to try to get people into the theaters, because you've essentially done that with the 2 to 3 movies that happened before. And that's what they really need to start doing. They have an opportunity to do it here with Black Adam, The Flash, not necessarily The Flash because it's too far away, but Black Adam and Shazam have the ability to get you excited about The Flash if they were to do it right. But right now we're talking about The Batman. And when's the next Batman coming out? Matt Reeves? A couple years from now, maybe?
Yeah.
Probably
that
momentum's dead.
I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, that money is gone.
Hail
and that
Todd.
momentum is dead.
What's up, Todd?
Hail Todd.
Hail Todd, yes.
So yeah, it's just this is the opportunity for them to reinvigorate a shared universe and get people excited about it.
Yeah. Did you
For sure.
Did you have before we move on, William? Did you have any thoughts on Christian Bale talking about how he would come back to play Batman again if Christopher Nolan came up with an idea?
Hopefully, it never happens. Was my initial thought. Even for the positive things about that trilogy, that time for that trilogy is over. That was 2 Batmans ago.
Yeah.
And there have been things that have been expressed by the 2 subsequent Batmans that I like more than anything that was ever in the Nolan movies, and I just don't want to take that step back. I will watch Heath Ledger over and over again in his characterization, but it's not 2005, and like I said, better Batman have been put on the big screen, and a better Batman movie that's better than the entirety of that trilogy has been released. So I don't want to go back in time.
No.
They just need to focus on their main Batman.
Well, and like I said, I think Bale's Batman, that entire trilogy, is probably the most overrated stuff out there. It's not horrible.
Yeah,
but it's
right.
very
You're
overrated.
right, but it does have the biggest impact on pop culture. It's like, if you
not
ask
really.
anyone to do an impression of Batman, who's the most likely gonna be?
Michael Keaton.
Oh, no.
In the modern era, I would say yes, but if you're looking at if you're saying that like it's had the most impact in probably what the last, since it came out at least. But if we're saying overall of Batman entirely, no, Michael Keaton still wins that. People, I swear to God, people are still out here downplaying Michael Keaton's Batman, and just tell me you weren't alive in 1989 without telling me you weren't alive in 1989. I mean, I'm not saying that to you, Axel. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
People,
I don't
I've
think
seen
you can
people.
carry a
Yeah,
Flash
people are
movie, but-
hating on him, just because he's replacing Ben Affleck. He's stealing Ben Affleck's spotlight.
And that's the thing, dude. If this had been in any other time and didn't have anything to do where like people felt like he was in a Warner Brother movie that they didn't want to see, or you know what I mean, or something like that, or like that he, like you said, that he was taking over, for Ben Affleck. The reality is I've seen so many people downplaying the role of Michael Keaton's Batman. And I'm sorry, but Michael Keaton's Batman, if you were around in 1989, the summer of Batman, and it wasn't just the summer. Gosh, man, Batmania went on for, it was the summer, and then it was the fall and winter. And then it stretched out into the next year, because of toys and tie-ins and, you know, and the video release and all that stuff, man. And it just, gosh, man, you know, but I hear people acted like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. Wasn't a big deal. It's like,
And then
I feel like, I feel like, I feel like
they
I feel like they try to put on Michael Keaton, like, George Clooney's Batman, right? That like, they try to tie it. Well, you know, that was like, but no. Yes. The last time we had seen Batman before Christian Bale, yes, that was Clooney's Batman, and yeah, Clooney's Batman was a failure, absolutely. But that's where the franchise went. It's not where the franchise started. That's like comparing Superman the movie with Superman 4. You can't. You can't. You got to put some respect on that, you know. So
Yeah, the biggest problem that Keaton Batman would ever have is how Warner Brothers handled Batman, and it's the appearance of settling for this guy when you had the other guy snatched from you. It's really no fault to Michael Keaton. It's not Michael Keaton's fault that the Batman with Ben Affleck never happened. That's not his fault. But it's reasonable for people to have a sour taste in their mouth when it comes to anything Batman. There's a lot of those same people who had a problem with Pattinson Batman before they even saw it. It was the fact that you were settling for something other than what you were promised, and that person paid for it, you know, in the perception of their character. No matter how good Robert Pattinson was going to be as Batman, there was always going to be a price to pay for unfinished business, and that's the price DC Films constantly pays. It's a price of credibility. Nobody wants to give them the benefit of the doubt because there's so much unfinished business on the table, and they're constantly giving you new business. So it hurts some hard work. There's a lot of people who do a lot of kick-ass work on DC Films, and they got to deal with that kind of stuff.
No, I hear you. Yeah, and you know, that's me too, Film Goblin. I don't want Michael Keaton to necessarily become. I don't want him to become the like permanent Batman replacement.
They should have just had him retire at the end of the film. Like he's not dead, but he's not coming back.
Or
I'm fine. I'm fine with the
Batman
idea of a Batman
Beyond.
It's the kind of situation where he's old, Bruce Wayne, right? And you know what? Maybe there's a movie where like he has to go out and and save a Terry McGinnis, in a thing or whatever, and he's got the ability to do that, but not that he's going to be running around in the bat suit like he ain't a 70-year-old man, like we're going to cover that up. I mean, maybe and look, maybe they're going to try to play it off that he's not 70 years old. He is gray. We've seen the pictures already from The Flash where he's got gray hair. So we already know he's an older Batman. So, I don't know, man.
How was his Batman doing Batman Returns? How was his Batman doing Batman Returns?
How old was he?
Yeah, I'm doing Batman Returns. Like
it would have just been like a couple. It was like what, a year or two after the first Batman movie. So
if it takes place after Returns as Batman,
that was released in '92. He was portrayed to be in his mid to late 30s during that movie, so that's right around where he would have been in 1992.
So yeah,
and there is also that comic, like Batman '89. Comic that is being made right now, I think.
Yeah, the continuation.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they even gonna mention that or in the movies, or are they just gonna ignore it?
Probably ignore it.
Probably ignore it.
I feel so.
Although I would love to see Billy D. Williams as Two-Face. It would have been amazing to see that. I would get a picture of him, maybe in Michael Keaton say, "Oh yeah, I captured him."
He did voice Two-Face in the Lego Batman movies.
He did, yeah. Maybe we see a picture of him as Two-Face, because he was good at Harvey before he did. So, yeah.
Yeah, but as far as another thing they really need to be doing is familiarizing people with Batman '89. There's two generations that this movie is not as close to them as it is to us. And if you're going to sell this movie, if you're going to have this movie coming out next year with him in it, this entire time needs to be a refamiliarization with Michael Keaton's Batman to the point where the anticipation is there. That's just marketing. That's free. They have all that footage. They have all the movies in their house.
Well, next year will be the 10th anniversary of Man of Steel, and then it'll be what? And it'll be the 35th anniversary of '89. So you have to market it in a good way for that. So yeah.
Yeah, by announcing a movie.
There you go. Yeah. So this story right here, though, Warner Brothers Discovery announces surprising. Warner Brothers Discovery announces surprising DC plans for San Diego Comic-Con 2022 this year. So they're returning. While the pandemic is still underway, things have gotten better since COVID-19, obviously, with vaccines and boosters and whatnot. And so this year, Comic-Con International is finally bringing the San Diego-based event back. Even though San Diego Comic-Con 2022 is happening, studios are still carefully assessing what they are sending to the convention. Mask mandates and proof of vaccination will be required for every attendee, as there will be over 100,000 badge holders going to San Diego Comic-Con.
That's a lot.
100,000. Dang.
That's a lot.
Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige confirmed that the MCU will hold one of its famous Hall H panels at the event. However, another superhero behemoth is also heading to San Diego Comic-Con 2022, as well as Warner Brothers and DC have rolled out their plans. Warner Brothers will have DC present at San Diego Comic-Con, but with a catch. For the first time in history, Warner Brothers Discovery and DC will not have their regular booths in the exhibit halls. Warner Brothers TV will bring 2 DC shows to the convention, one of them being the highly anticipated Netflix series The Sandman, now set to have a massive Hall H panel, and HBO Max will also be screening the first 2 episodes of Harley Quinn Season 3, while Warner Brothers Home Entertainment will host the world premiere for the DC animated film Green Lantern Beware My Power. Check out the official Warner Brothers DC-themed San Diego Comic-Con bags featuring multiverse DC TV, DCEU, and DC animated characters. So here's the bags right here, which those are cool. You got Aquaman, you got
Grant Gustin and Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I mean, who else you got here? You got what? Aquaman, you got The Flash, Michael Keaton's Batman, Shazam.
Legends of Tomorrow, Sarah.
Is that? Hold on a second. Is that?
That girl.
Well, hold on a second there. So you got 2 Flash. Well, that must be Grant Gustin's Flash on one side then. Okay. Yeah, you got Grant Gustin's Flash on one side.
I got a proper photo of it.
Yeah.
I got a better quality photo.
Yeah, he got a bigger one.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. You got it up there? Where do you got it?
I'll get it.
Okay. Let me see. Maybe I can. Oh, here we go. There we go. That'll work. Yeah, there we go. So who else we got here? We got back
I'm
here.
sharing like a better one. Like
even better than that?
Yeah. It's much better.
Is it the whole? Oh, okay. Here we go. Yeah. All right.
So you got there's no Wonder Woman or Peacemaker there. You got Crypto here.
Dr. Fate. I don't
know who this character is here.
That's Naomi.
But she's gone now, so...
Yeah, canceled.
Yeah. You got
Batwoman.
Which is also gone.
Yep.
It's Jim Lee. It was Jim Lee.
You got Hal Jordan down there, though.
Yeah, which is surprising.
You also have...
I don't know who this character
That's
is
Alfred.
Here.
That's Pennyworth. That's Pennyworth from the Pennyworth show, yep.
And you got Sweet Tooth here.
Yep, Sweet Tooth, yep.
You got Batgirl from the video game. You got Superboy from Titans.
Yep,
Jason or Red Hood, either from the game or Titans.
Tyler.
I think this is Sandman.
So it looks like Sandman.
I don't know what this thing here is.
That's Libro.
Oh, that thing from Legend. Oh, fuck that thing.
Yeah.
Here's King Shark.
Yeah.
I think that's from the game.
Yeah.
Stargo
with stripes.
You got Superman there from Lois and Superman.
Yeah, no,
Yay.
Cyborg. You got
Cyborg.
Herogasm.
Red Hood.
And
Dick Grayson, Harley, Batgirl at the bottom from Titans.
Oracle. Here it is.
Oracle. And Michael Keaton with Shazam. And
Yeah.
Sacha Kaya. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Dr. Fate in the middle.
Yeah, so there's a lot there, you know.
And it's drawn by Jim Lee, which is crazy.
I'm actually looking forward to Super Pets. Am I the only one looking forward to Super Pets?
Probably.
Yeah.
It just seems like a
Yes.
cash grab to me. Like how they're promoting it and stuff.
I mean, what else would it be? I mean, they
Yeah,
want to make
cash grab.
they want to make money, man. I think it looks good. I like the fact that it's like an animated, you know, an animated cartoon for kids, and it's, you know.
Yeah, I hope. No. I watch on HBO Max.
I'm not the target market for it, but if somebody else enjoys it, have at it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, I don't have a problem with it, you know, honestly. But, you know, that remains to be seen. Now, let's see. Was there anything else with, oops. So despite some DC TV presence, Warner Brothers TV will not have The Flash and Superman and Lois attend San Diego Comic-Con.
Because they're not filming.
No. Even though it is finished filming, it will premiere in the fall. Stargirl Season 3 will also not be a part of the event. The Hollywood Reporter, per the Hollywood Reporter, it has yet to be decided if DC films will be coming to San Diego Comic-Con at all. With films like Black Adam and Shazam! Fury of the Gods releasing later this year, they may be possible candidates for Hall H if Warner Brothers Discovery are to bring any DC movies to the event. For the time being, it seems Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, The Flash, and Blue Beetle aren't on the table for San Diego Comic-Con appearances due to their 2023 release dates.
Blue Beetle's filming.
It says it's understandable why Warner Brothers Discovery is not going all in for San Diego Comic-Con, despite it being held in person. Aside from pandemic concerns, it has still only been a few months since Warner Brothers Discovery merger was completed. Given that there are a lot of changes happening behind the scenes, putting full financial commitment into something as big as Comic-Con is likely premature for the studio. In the case of The Flash and Superman and Lois skipping out on San Diego Comic-Con, the potential sale of the CW is likely playing a factor in that. The Flash Season 9 and Superman and Lois Season 3 are also being saved for mid-season 2023, and production for both shows won't start until the fall, with DC Films plans still being mapped out. Warner Brothers Discovery may have more news to reveal for San Diego Comic-Con 2022
I
in
hope
the
so.
coming
I
weeks.
hope so.
So,
I hope so. I mean,
I
yeah.
think that makes sense why they're not showing up. I mean, don't you? I mean, I feel like that makes,
because they don't have a lot of stuff to show. They only have Black Adam and Shazam. That's it. You don't even have your TV stuff, even if it's CW, whatever. You don't even have it ready.
I was going to this until I found out they were both going. It's just going to turn.
But here's the thing, RJ. Here's the thing. I don't think that at this point, like, Warner Brothers just needs to deliver some strong goodies to counteract that on the film side. They don't have to counteract it. Like it. I mean, look, as a DC fan, yeah, do I want to see them drop cool stuff? Absolutely. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't care about that. I'd love to see them drop cool stuff. But if we're just talking about, like, well, they got to do something to counteract, you know, Marvel.
That's a horrible strategy.
Yeah, you don't. That'd be a bad strategy to go.
That identifies who I need to fire. If I hear that that's their strategy, that they would just be showing up for that, that lets me know who I need to replace. I can't see. And that's the thing. Focus.
But in the same token, RJ here says, but I just don't think the Black Adam will cut it. Well, they don't have anything else, man. So, I mean, like, what else are they going to drop that's so good? I mean, they're not going to drop the Flash. The Flash doesn't come out till next summer.
I said they have.
Listen, the world doesn't need to be created at San Diego Comic-Con, and they've turned it into this. I started going a long, long time ago, and I've watched over the years that this turned into a bloated mess. We had passes this year, and as the news came out that it was going to be the bloated thing that it had become, I decided to opt out. I mean, seeing trailers and seeing reveals back in maybe 05, 06, 07 may have been a cool thing to be there in person with 100,000 other sweaty people stuck to you. That's wonderful. But I got this cool thing called YouTube that puts all this stuff on there for me seconds after it's released in Comic-Con. I mean, most of this stuff is done that way. Most of these companies prefer to control the entire atmosphere that they release this news to anyway. So it's just become, and now with local Comic Cons, there was a time when the local stuff was just a shack with a couple of dealers in it and an artist. Now, like Vegas has a Comic Con that has a whole bunch of big names. It's focused on comic books and comic book artists and some cosplayers.
Yeah.
But I can get in there. I can get around. It's not a tangled mess. Comic-Con has become a tangled, bloated mess. And I was hoping this year, being the first year that it wasn't pandemic and a lot of the studios staying away, but it just seems like business as usual. So like I said, I'll watch their reveals on YouTube and I'll go to Amazing Comic-Con.
But people still love it, dude. And people are going to go to
because
of San Diego Comic-Con,
Hey,
William, real quick, I got to go. Can you please read this super chat?
Brodan is worried. See, I'm making a beeline towards Brodan's domain because I saw some cool stuff there. And he's going to be a lot easier, Mark, than you are. You're going to be difficult to get your stuff. Brodan's going to be about a 5-minute deal. It's got some cool lights.
You underestimate everybody, bro.
Yeah, okay. But no, I'm going to send some people to, if I can send people, if they'll let me send people to Comic-Con in my stead.
I'll go to Comic-Con for you. I'll go to Comic-Con for you.
You gotta come down and get a credential under my name and under my.
There you go. I'll fly out to Vegas and fly out to San Diego.
And that's another thing. It's just like I said, back in the day there was only San Diego Comic-Con and some big ones in like Chicago and that were decent sized. There's some shows within the regional area that are pretty huge and that some of these guys go to during the Comic-Con season. They'll make that as part of their itinerary.
Before the pandemic, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, like I said, Hall H has just become a mess.
In the pandemic, fuck that shit up.
RJ here says, I don't mean to make this a Marvel versus DC thing, but the DC news will be easily lost in the shuffle compared to Marvel's Hall H panel unless they drop some really cool stuff too earlier in the day. Dude, nobody's going to care, dude. I don't feel that anybody's going to care. And Bob actually here, what's up, Bob? Says it doesn't matter what gets lost in the shuffle or not really. You don't go to Comic-Con if you don't have much to show. It's forgotten about a week later anyways. Yeah, you don't have to like match another studio's energy or anything like that. You just don't have to. Like it's
what?
You show what you show what you got, and if you don't have anything, then you're not gonna just make stuff up, obviously,
Disney has another event on September. They don't need Comic-Con. They just opted out to go. So like,
I got a question.
Yeah.
How much are How much are these studios prioritizing comic? I know some studios are, but with the advent of everything else we have to put the news out to millions within seconds, and how it's not, like I said, it's not 2008 or 2007 where we had Twilight. It's 2022. We have so many ways to put out and get people energized about these slates. Does it all need to happen at Comic-Con when, like I said, most people can't even get in, but everybody's got YouTube? Most people have the internet.
Yeah, but Comic-Con ain't just about I don't think that that's the right way to look at it, because look, nobody's just going to Comic-Con because they can see something that they could see on the internet anyways. They're going for the experience. Look, I want to go to Comic-Con still in San Diego. I mean, I could say the same thing about a lot of things. Look, they don't show a bunch of cool movie stuff or like that stuff at the Motor City Comic-Con, but you know what? I go because I love the atmosphere. I love seeing other nerds and fans. I love watching the cosplayers. I love looking at the art that's available there. I love meeting the celebrities that are there that I can meet and get a picture with or get an autograph with. I love going to see the vendors and getting toys and things like that. I love the experience of being on the floor with all those people, with people who love the same things that I love, and walking around and taking pictures with other fans and stuff. Like when I still have to share my my Motor City Comic Con pictures and stuff from this year, and I actually I'm going to put that together this week. But seeing people dressed up as Boba Fett, man, and getting a picture with them, or seeing like cosplay that you don't see every once in a while, or like temple guards from the Jedi Temple or whatever, and it's like, whoa, that's cool. Like I want to get a picture with that person. Just That's why you go to a Comic-Con. Plus, San Diego
to a con in
Comic-Con.
general, I agree 100%.
Well, but San Diego Comic-Con though, it is all those things. Plus, it's cool stuff that you get to see early, or actually be in Hall H for, or be there and actually get to see them as they're releasing those things with other nerds and with the energy that's there and all that environment, dude. Like it's not just like, oh well, I could just see that anyways. You know, people love that stuff, man. That's their life. So I absolutely understand why people still go.
No, that was my question. Was why do studios prioritize it? My question is, I know why people go, but do the studios, with the advent of everything that they have, to be able to get all this information out within seconds? Not the fan goer, I know why they go, but to the studios, and because of the amount of money it costs, and is there going to become a point where they no longer prioritize this slate versus, like I said, I'm putting Enosh Goes to Hell, the first trailer, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I mean, I'm going to reach millions and millions and millions within seconds.
Maybe, but I think a better movie is William slowly gets lowered into his grave is a better film to actually take to Comic-Con.
Okay, whatever the movie is, how many people I can generate a lot of buzz without all that. I mean,
it's a great sequel to One Foot in the Grave, so it's a good movie.
And most people at Comic-Con is going to record what they see. Even like that's what they do. So whatever, even if it's Marvel, DC, or whatever, or another studio,
I think we're seeing that, though. Aren't we seeing that though? That the studios are like slowly kind of. I mean, they're kind of pulling out from taking everything there. I mean, isn't that's been the point actually for the couple of years right before the pandemic? That's what was going on. You know, was that we were getting less big drops at
Comic-Con.
You know, at Comic-Con.
That's a good question, William. Chuck.
Are you there, William? You
Hold on,
you pulled up the question. Well, while you're waiting for that question, H. Bart's here with a great question. Did you know that William was there when Julius Caesar was killed on the Ides of March? That I think that's
March 15th.
Yep.
DC.
William, old fart the movie. I hear that movie stinks though, Marcus. Not as good.
You're my
not
stunt double.
Not as good as you want. Not as good as you want.
Yeah, I've been to Hall H, and like I said, it just wore off on me. It just wasn't something. It's really hard to get around that entire event.
I know because you're in your Rascal. You're on your little scooter, and
this is way before any of this. It's just
way before you were using your scooter.
Nah. So, and I remember when there was talk that they were going to bring it to Vegas because, they were using us for leverage, but we have the facilities to make it to where you could space things out, and you wouldn't have the kind of limitations and the fire control and all that. Because we're a city designed for that type of thing. And I'm like, that would be the only way I would go back under these circumstances. But it just wasn't, in the lines. It was just like I said, I've gone to the comic, conventions that are around California and the ones that they do here, and I've just had a better time. I have better access to some of the same people, that I would meet there. I can get to them. It's more centered. I mean, you have your cosplayers there, but it's more centered around pop culture that you can actually get to. Like I said, it's just become a mess with Hall H. So like I said, this year I was thinking about it, and we were set up to do it. And because, like I said, I felt that they were receding to the point where it wouldn't be as bloated, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So those other 100,000 people, have fun, man. I'm just not doing it for a while.
William went to the first ever Hall H in 1905.
You know what? Funny fact. I did go to the first ever Hall H, but not 1905. I went to the convention when it wasn't in the convention center, when it was in a place called the Omni in downtown San Diego. When the only people who went to Comic-Con were geeks, comic book collectors. And from 1988 up until 2000, maybe 2006, it was predominantly still that way. And you could go up the day of in certain cases and get registration and get in. Now, just to get tickets to Comic-Con for an average person who is a non-vendor, who is a non-affiliated, you got to it's almost like a lottery system. It's like that's the whole process for people, the general person, to get in. That's a documentary in itself. Somebody should make a movie.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what ends up, going, there this year and what, if anything, the DC and, Warner Brothers Discovery ends up bringing.
Yeah, the retail company.
Yeah, and well,
we'll see.
I know whatever it is, we'll end up talking about it, both Marvel and DC. Now, to finish off the night, I just kind of wanted to talk about something. We every time somebody joins membership, we use the whole woo thing, and Ric Flair is an icon.
Man.
He's an icon in wrestling.
Yes.
And he's got this last match that he's doing. And I read this article on CBR.com about Ric Flair's resurgence for one last match is short-sighted. Here's why. It says the infamous Ric Flair is set to return for one more final match, but there are many valid concerns to this short-sighted request. The infamous Ric Flair has been a significant figure in pro wrestling, especially when it came to establishing and developing WWE into the brand name that it is today. I mean,
okay, this article is written by a non-wrestling fan, but I'll
no, I get it, but I mean, it's people who know wrestling as it is today and don't realize like what he was, in the beginning, because it was a big deal when he finally came to the WWF, back in the late 80s, but no. Okay. The 73-year-old pro wrestling champion has already retired twice, including after his unforgettable last match with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. Was that 25? Yeah. No, that was 20. What is that? 24, right? In 2008? Is it 24? Is that a 4? Yeah, it's a 4. The IV is 4. Back then, fans mourned Ric Flair's retirement, even though he continued to stay involved with his daughter Charlotte Flair's career, which I just can't stand Charlotte Flair, but oh well. He did an excellent job as her supporter, cheering for her and helping to cheat in some great WWE moments. Now, Flair is back once again with his final match set to take place on July 31st, 2022. And though fans are excited to see Flair back in the ring for one last night, the excitement might be keeping some people from truly examining how short-sighted this final match actually is. Not only has Flair had major health problems over the years, but there are still many other reasons this final match might not be the best idea for him at this point in his career, especially over a decade after his last final match.
Are you going to see it?
I'm not going to see it. I mean, it's going to be at it's like at this little
man, he's going to have either he's going to break 6 bones or he's going to have a heart attack.
No, they booked it to where it's a show match. They're not going to touch him.
Okay.
Well, at first he was going to take on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, but Steamboat turned it down.
Thank you, Steamboat.
Yeah, there's been rumors that Hogan might be somehow brought into it, but they haven't verified yet who his final opponent is. So people are speculating. Look, is he doing this for a paycheck? Or is he trying to have one last moment in the spotlight for his pride? It's probably a little bit of both. A lot of people feel like his Shawn Michaels match should have been it. But I'm just being honest with you, man. Like in reading the rest of this, it's like he says he's in better shape now than ever in his life in terms of cardio, and then he's been training long term. But I'm one of these people who are still concerned about his health because training isn't the same as performing in front of an audience, especially in high endurance activity like pro wrestling. Flair seemingly wants to prove to fans and to himself that his medical issues aren't slowing him down. I mean, but like literally, I remember like a little over a year or so ago, all of social media was, going on and on. Please pray for Ric Flair because, he was in the hospital and it sounded like he was at death's door. He insisted it's not about the money this time.
Does family really agree on this? Then why?
I don't know, man. I just, do we really want to look? I love Ric Flair, what he's meant to wrestling. I love who he is as an icon. But come on, do we really want to see Ric Flair jump in the ring one last time? I've watched the bumps. I've watched the stuff, of him, training and stuff with Jay Lethal and everything, and I've watched all that stuff. Is that what we really want to see at this point? Do we really want to see Ric Flair jump back in the ring like this?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Axel, you know what? So I know why I feel it, and I'm guessing I know why. Axel, you tell us why you want to see this.
Well, I was just joking, but like, I don't know, maybe because like it's his last time, and might as well just go out with a bang, am I right? I mean, in a good way, of course.
How about you just break your legs, break your arms,
I don't like
break
that,
everything?
man.
Yeah, just break your whole body. How about that? Wait, I'll check it out. I'll see it on YouTube or whatever it's on. And I hope it's good. I hope he enjoyed his one last time fighting. He just, like, bro, just stay retired. You made so much money in your career, man. Like, you just retired.
All right, what do you think, William?
I have the utmost sympathy for people who only had experienced WWE, WWF Ric Flair.
Sure.
I can never impart on you the sorrow I feel for you that you may have only seen Ric Flair in WWE or WWF.
Sure.
I think the last 7 or 8 years of Ric Flair in WWE, he became a caricature of himself to where the gimmick became this old guy who was at the end of his rope and didn't know when to end it. That's not Ric Flair. That's what Ric Flair became. To me, this just adds another layer of that on top of somebody who does not need that. I wish that people could go down, and all of his matches are available out there. Watch Ric Flair's speeches. Watch how Ric Flair sold a match. Watch how Ric Flair elevated people. The things that the modern generation and people that are watching this stuff now have to handle with Ric Flair are the things that are not good about Ric Flair. The excesses and some of the things that he did later in his career, not the stuff he did on the planes earlier, but the stuff he did later in his career that drove him to the health problems, the money and all the other stuff. He's becoming known as a raging bull type of character, except much, much older and much more tragic, in my opinion. Every time he does these things, it just takes the prestige off of what Ric Flair is. Even the Shawn Michaels match, the one pin. I mean, Ric Flair had enough to retire on as far as prestige before that match. That match and that build-up was phenomenal, but it wasn't necessary. Had Ric Flair, the franchise, been handled right, and it's just sad to see that. I mean, the last match at 73, if it's not for the money, then what is it for? There's enough Ric Flair out there. If you need to, if you need, you know what? If you need to understand what Ric Flair is, you don't need a last match at age 73 to show you.
No, you're right. You're right.
So yeah, I think this is kind of sad, and especially in our era, he comes from an era of wrestlers where the majority of them are not alive anymore because of what they put their bodies through.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys do not get to grow old. Ric Flair got to grow old and go out gracefully, and here he's back again. It's like I said,
that's my greatest fear, man. My greatest fear about this whole thing, dude, is that he's going to push himself too hard, and then God forbid, something happens to him. I mean, now knowing him, that would probably be how he would want to go out. You know what I mean? But
I think.
But nobody wants to see that, dude. Nobody wants to be watching the match and see him go. You know what I mean? Or like complications due to,
No, Drag, I don't hate kids. I pity you guys that didn't get to see Ric Flair as Ric Flair. I mean, wrestling fans in general, the modern day wrestling, especially the main stuff that's on your TV,
William
in
thinks
comparison to what it was
Japan.
before it got to where it is, you guys would have had fun with that. I think you guys would have been thrilled. I mean, you guys would have been instant fans if one of you guys in the chat room brought up Chi-Town Rumble 89.
What's up, Dancing with Ghosts?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? Good to see you, bro.
Ricky Steamboat match. And Ricky Steamboat rightfully declined. The last time that Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair wrestled on a high level was one of the greatest feuds of all time. And he doesn't want to take anything away from that. If Macho Man was alive, I guarantee you, if Macho Man wanted to do a match with Ricky Steamboat, first of all, Macho Man wouldn't want to do a match like this, but Ricky Steamboat would have declined him too. That was a special moment.
Can you do his voice?
No, I can't. I can barely do my own Kermit the Frog voice.
Well, let's see here. Hold on a second.
But yeah, man, I am not for this, but hey, I just now.
Let me tell you something right now, William. One time. Yeah. You know, you might want to speak for me sometimes, William, but you know, the real thing about that is I know you're an old timer, and you've been around, you've seen a lot of things. Or you're back there in the days when they were blading, taking a blade and put it across your forehead, and, you know, showing a little color. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but you know, the thing is there comes a time, William, when you gotta dig down deep inside to where the cream is. You know what the cream is, William? Have you ever seen the cream? You gotta reach down deep in the cream and let the cream rise to the top, yeah. Oh, yeah, the cream. And the Macho Man is the cream. I am the cream. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in. But if I was in that position to wrestle Ric Flair, let me tell you one thing. Ric Flair would not be winning his swan song, if you know what I'm saying. And I think you know what I'm saying. Because just like Hulk Hogan, that 2-bit rat that he is. That's right. Ric Flair would be looking for a way to get off the sinking boat. Yeah! Dig it! I've left William speechless.
You know what? That's another guy that didn't make it to 60 that should have.
Yeah, no, you're right, man.
There's just too many. Like I said, maybe this is a reminder of one of the very few people that can actually walk away with somewhat of his health still have intact. Just putting himself through this one more time. And
I got to get this real quick here. H. Bart's with a 15-month member super chat. Thank you so much, H. Bart's. Says Ric Flair could end up like Misawa.
Yep.
I don't know who that is. So
yeah,
I don't follow a lot of Japanese wrestling, so I don't know who that is.
He wrestled for I think he wrestled for all Japan.
Okay.
He wrestled for all Japan. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he wrestled for it's Mitsuhiro Asai. He wrestled for. I'm trying to remember when he died. I'm looking. He died in 2009, and he wrestled, but he was only 46. But he died in the ring. I remember this was a big. I think he had a head injury. He got a head injury in the ring, brain bleed in the ring. I think. Let me look at this. Yeah. This was. They didn't cover this a lot because it just wasn't.
Did you have something to say, Anthony?
No, not really.
You just dropping a buck. Just dropping a buck.
A buck.
Okay. Yeah, he a cervical cord transection.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
That's terrible.
Yeah, and so his central nervous system shut down. They attempted to revive him, and that's where he died at 10. Yeah, I remember this. I remember they would not, even in Japan, they would not cover this. And if you look at the history of Japan wrestling, there's a lot of people that have died. It's a tough sport because they do what's called strong style, and they it's not, they hit.
Yeah.
They hit and they kick, and then when you hit the ground, you hit. So they've gotten better about it now. There are still some guys that do it, but for the most part, everybody's adopted a style because people dying is not good for business.
But a lot of wrestling today looks very much choreographed.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? It doesn't look as good as it does with the stuff I was growing up with, but I appreciate the fact that these guys that I'm watching will be able to walk on their own power when they're in their 50s and 60s, and that they'll be alive. One of the guys on AEW, it was one of the Hardys. that was doing it. They were doing a ladder match, and they did a cutter off of 2 ladders, and they both landed straight down on tables. And I was legit worried that Darby Allin. It was Darby Allin, and I think it was Matt Hardy. And I'm like, dude, Matt Hardy's 46, 47 years old. Darby Allin has his whole career ahead of him. And with 6 inches to the left or right, Darby Allin's moving around in one of those wheelchairs that Stephen Hawkings spent most of his life in. That's how close they come. And I'm like, dude, I appreciate it, but I want to see you in 20, 30 years at a convention, signing one of my belts. Not in your wife putting you in the Hall of Fame because you ain't there anymore. Ultimate Warrior, 54 years old. I mean, these are people. Hawk, Animal, both didn't make it. I mean, Hogan and Flair are really the only ones.
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes, 69. I mean, these guys did not live long lives, and I think Flair is a reminder of the guy who really did enough to kill himself.
Yeah.
Riding off into the sunset. So I hope, you know what? I hope he makes it out well. I hope it's a gimmick match where they just play hit and the crowd just cheers. And
I don't think he's going to want to go out that way, though, William. Even though it's not like a big pay-per-view or something like that, he's getting paid good money for it, and I just have a feeling that he's going to want to go out there and prove that he can take a bump, right? That he can still, I think that's what's in his mind. I just really do, and that's what scares me. Monkey Jeebus here. William wrestled cave bears and saber-toothed tigers as a boy.
Hilarious.
Bob here, though, so Bob, I do understand your point here. He says, because I was a Hogan kid until the Ultimate Warrior came around. But I was always a Hogan guy. And honestly, Hogan is what got me back into wrestling when I had gotten out of wrestling in my teens. Hogan got me back in when they started the NWO, because I thought that was absolutely amazing. When I found out that Hogan had gone heel, that blew me away as a kid. I mean, so Hogan had that draw and appeal, and he extended his career for, another couple decades, man, or a decade and a half, after that. So he says, I hate hear how people don't think Hogan was anything special. Biggest star in the history of the business. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. My God, I'm not even doing that full on because, my God, doing Hogan, your voice gets like absolutely just ends up feeling like a razor blade.
They need to take Dark Side of the Ring off the air, man. It's just.
I will say this though about Hogan. Hogan could wrestle. Hogan went over to Japan, and Hogan could actually wrestle. Vince just didn't want him to. Hogan is.
Who else could? You know who else could that you probably didn't? Andre the Giant.
Oh yeah. I mean, not in his last few years, but
no, last few years he was barely standing, but he was wrestling Stan Hansen.
Peter Belgia.
No, I wish I had it though. I wish I had it. I mean, the High Chief. The High Chief is a legend, and he produced legends. We wouldn't have The Rock without the High Chief. So,
William, what would your wrestling nickname be?
I don't know. I'd come up with something stupid.
You look a little bit like Abdullah the Butcher.
William Butcher.
Hold on a second.
He was actually very well. I mean, him and George the Animal Steel. These are some highly, highly educated people. They just chose wrestling. People thought they were dumb because they were wrestlers. I'm like, no.
Well, yeah, it was a gimmick. It was absolutely.
Like, I think George the Animal Steel was taught with a professor somewhere. But no, it was Hulk Hogan was huge back when Rock and Roll Wrestling, back when Cyndi Lauper, back when Captain Albino. He was the bridge between the territories of wrestling and the South. And there were two different types of wrestling that was happening back then. What you saw in WWF and the NWA and a lot of the things that was happening that I was watching in the Mid-South, AWA in the North. I was watching Japan wrestling, but it wasn't what it is now. You didn't know who these people were. And all Japan was a place where American wrestlers would go to make some extra money, because American wrestlers in Japan made a ton of money. Hulk Hogan could sell out to Tokyo Dome, no problem. So, but no, Hulk Hogan is pivotal. If there's a Mount Rushmore, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair are definitely on it. And even though I detest him, especially for what he's done in the last 30 years, Vince McMahon has to be on there too. I don't know who the fourth and fifth guy, if there's a fifth guy on there, but those three, without those three, nothing else matters.
Monkey Jeebus says they canceled Dark Side.
Yeah, dude, as a wrestling fan, having that stuff rolled out and reminded of how awful, and I didn't even know how bad it was. I mean, some of the stuff that they would put, some of the drugs that these guys are putting into their body just to be able to make dates. And the Chris Benoit one, that's the one that haunts me. They went into more detail on that than I ever wanted to know, to be honest with you. And then seeing how it affected, they interviewed the family, his son, all these people. And then the only thing good about that one episode I hated that guy for what he did to his family. But when they explained the medical aspects of it, I still can't condone what Chris Benoit did. But once the medical aspect of it was laid out, the black spots in his brain, the concussion, what his brain had gone through.
What's up, geeks?
I could understand a little bit more, even if I can't condone it. And it's,
You know what haunts me? You know what haunts me?
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you. For you, boy. I'm coming hard. I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you and I getting it on like two men should do. It's still real to me, damn it!
You don't think I'm big enough, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
You're not gonna bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
There you go. Played them all.
I hate you, man.
Why do you hate me?
I'm thinking serious thoughts about wrestling, and you play that and just threw me off.
I'm sorry. Man, I mean, it's all part of the game, man. It's all part of the game.
That NWA guy, I think that's a real clip. I don't think that's a joke. I think that's a real guy being interviewed in the NWA crowd, if I can remember correctly. That's not a.
Oh no! You mean this guy?
It's real to me.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Yeah, that was at an event. That was at an event, and all these legends of wrestling had just spoken, and he was speaking from his heart. It's just that it became a meme later on because it was just so funny that he was like, "Oh,
I can relate to that guy. I wouldn't have been in tears.
Oh yeah.
But man, when I watched it as a kid, it was like my old man would laugh at it because it's not real. And I'm like, I don't want to hear you right now. I'm watching my wrestling. And as I grew up and knew it was not real and choreographed, I had more respect for pro wrestling, knowing what it was choreographed, than I did.
What's up, Triton?
Because what they had to go through to put on this show for us, the dynamics that have to go into a match like that. When Ricky Steamboat was explaining how Ric Flair walked him through that entire feud in that match, he'd be in the ring. He said, if you watch the match, Rick's talking to me. He's telling me what to do. And Sting said the same thing. That match on back in '88 where the Clash of Champions, Ric Flair talking us through that match. And this is a match Ric Flair lost because he understood losing elevated him in getting the title back. There's a science behind pro wrestling.
Triton, calm down, buddy. Calm down, man. No, you're missing the story, bro. You're missing the story. Bale is not actually returning. The story was Christian Bale said today, or it was reported today or yesterday or whatever, that he would actually come back and play Batman if Christopher Nolan had a new story. If he said that they had made a pact together that they were going to do 3, if they could do 3 and get out. But he said that if Christopher Nolan came to him and had another story in him, he would play Batman. It's not reported that he's not coming back as Batman. They're not going. He's not. It's not him. Taking over instead of Affleck or anything like that. And no, actually at this point, Zaslav is doing really, really well for us today. We actually, I shared it earlier. I'll share it again. We got this. I don't know why it didn't take the picture for some reason. I took the snapshot. The snapshot's fine. I don't know why it's not showing up here. But that is that Warner Brothers is actually promoting the digital release of Zack Snyder's Justice League on July 19th, which is something they have not done at all up to this point, So
someone's hacked their account.
What's that?
Someone's hacked their account.
Someone's hacked their account. So today people have actually been praising Zaslav because this is huge right here. That Warner Brothers is officially promoting Zack Snyder's Justice League digitally. Yeah. No worries, man. No worries. Yeah, I know. But
That's
yeah,
great news, to be honest with you, because that says that hey, normally it's just this is just normal business being done. If it hadn't been for what we had been through with all this, this
yeah,
would just be a normal day. But because of the fact that even as this was getting released, they were trying to bury it and they were trying to do things that were subversive to it. The fact that
yeah,
we have this at all, I think that reboots cost money. Reboots cost prestige. Reboots cost credibility. I think that he's going to do whatever he can to salvage what is there because that is the most economical way to do. You already have these characters established in their roles. You already have a Superman who's still young enough to play Superman. You have a Wonder Woman, despite the last movie, that's still popular in that character. You have the MILF magnet, Jason Momoa, who's still popular in his character. And then you have these things coming up with the Flash and everything else. And with the whole Esmeralda thing, if they could continue on with them, they can. If they don't want to, there's storyline things that you can do to put in someone else. I mean, it's the Flash. You can consolidate universes and come up with it. You can do a lot of things, but there's too much there to just leave there and start new. I really think they're going to salvage and try to piecemeal as much of this together as possible. And like I was saying before, they have an excellent opportunity to use Black Adam and the Flash to do this. They have it's there right there for them. They can explain a lot of stuff. It's not in this world. It's in that one. And start driving that point into people's heads about the different worlds of DC. Not the multiverse, but the multiple worlds of DC. The Earth worlds, Earth 1, Earth 2. Make that to the point where even the dumbest fan that you have can recite that. I got fans that have I know fans that are out there, that couldn't read comic books that were buying comic books because of the pictures. Like when I was a kid. But guess what? They got the story. All right? You can make a case to anybody. And that's what they can do now. And I think we're in like that crossroads where we got this Black Adam thing coming out. We got Shazam coming out. We got Flash coming out. And then we have this stuff that we already have. I say market the hell out of it. Use Zack Snyder's Justice League to market Black Adam if you can. I mean, find a way. There's ad guys out there to make 6 figures a year that just do this. This is all they do.
yeah.
So seeing that today means that, you know what? They're not just going to bury it. It's good. They're going to use it. It's an asset. So I love seeing that today. I know a lot of people are going to be like, "It's inevitable. It's going to happen tomorrow." No, it's going to take some time, and it might take a couple of years. But all I ask for David Zaslav is make everything that we've seen and everything that we're going to see make some type of sense. And if you decide you want to go off in a brand new direction after that, I'm okay with it. If you want to cut everything else and go off to a new direction after this, that's okay. But just all this mess that's just here, put it all together, make it a giant springboard, and let us jump off into something new off of that. But I think that's what they might do because it's like I said, the less money you spend, the more profit you make, right? We've already got this stuff in the can. We've already got Zack Snyder's Justice League. We already have guys under, that want to make these movies. How much does it cost to bring you a brand new Superman?
Yeah.
More than it's going to cost to pay Henry Cavill. I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, at this point, like I don't want them to go through all that either. The problem is they're starting to get to a point where if they don't start to rein it in a little bit, though, William, and like get some cohesion, it's going to be really messed up because if you start putting another Superman in there or you start putting another, God only knows what they're doing with Batman right now. You know what I mean? Like, if
they're going to have another Batman.
I'm just saying like if we got 3 different guys running around as Batman, God only knows what they're doing with Superman. If they recast Henry Cavill and then they do all this other stuff, it's not going to make any sense. You're going to end up with like
You Superman octopus now.
That's a perfect metaphor for that. Consolidate the confusion. Right now, every DC comic fan on every level, even the people buying the comics right now, are just confused. They don't know what's up and down, and that costs you money because it's so much easier to walk away from confusion into another cohesive project. You don't hate DC. You're just like, I don't understand what's going on. This thing over here, it's easy for me. It's explained for me. I'm going to jump into this. Make it easy. Make it like a coloring book. Always market to your dumbest person. Not because you want that dumb money is green money. It spins, So when you put it out there, you make it so everybody can understand, so that the smartest person in the world and just the average person in the world can still have that same conversation. If If they're having
Sure.
that conversation, that's building your product. And I hope they do that. It looks like they're doing it. It looks like we're inching baby steps, man. I mean, we're in a better spot than we were maybe 18 months ago.
Yeah, I mean,
When's the last time you
you're
heard the word
right.
model?
You're right. It's baby steps, but hopefully we'll get there. I will say this. Somebody's
Monkey
talked about
Jeebus, what the? No.
somebody talked about William earlier, like his movie coming out, Old Fart, the movie. Good to know that it'll be actually distributed by 20th Century.
Her acting got as if that was real.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the people selling the infomercials where they overact.
I don't think it's that bad, Monkey Jeebus. I don't think it's that bad. I get the hyperbole.
Anyways,
But yeah, look, I got a lot of concerns, and listen, I've always maintained. I've had people ask me like, why have you changed your tune on this or that? I haven't changed my tune on anything. Listen, first of all, there hasn't been a lot to report on when it comes to this stuff, right? But like people are like, well, you said you're going to go see this movie or that movie. Why? Because I'm a DC fan, and yes, I want to go see it, and I believe in the first ideas that we had when I talked to Ray Fisher at first, and he said I have to compartmentalize this and realize that not everybody who makes this movie is Walter Hamada, and I agree with that. Now, he's changed his prerogative based on his experience and based on his feelings about it now. And he said, I can't do this, and I feel that I got to do this. But everybody who thinks that they're doing some moral high ground thing by not going to see Black Adam or the Batman or whatever, listen, at the end of the day, that's your choice, right? If you don't want to go see it and you really feel like you can't go see it, that's fine. I don't begrudge you that whatsoever. But even Ray Fisher himself has said on this very program, he doesn't begrudge anybody going to see that movie, just if you're a DC fan. Don't put words or don't put meaning into extra meaning into words that have been said, because he stood up at that convention, and said, look, I think right is right and wrong is wrong. That was for him. And him and Ray Porter and Wayne T. Carr have all made that very clear what was actually being said there. Wayne T. Carr, especially because Wayne T. Carr and Ray Fisher, really, really close. And, that's the thing is like, don't put extra emphasis on it. He wasn't making a blanket statement for all the fans that if you go see this, like I've seen fans say, well, if you go see the Flash movie or you go see, the Batman or Black Adam, you're a racist. You're not a racist.
Yeah, and like if you like anything that's not made by Zack Snyder, you're a pedophile or you're a racist or you're a sexist. Like, it's just
like that's taking that too far, and like so espousing those kind of traits to somebody just because they go see a movie. Listen, like I've said it many, many times, if we tried to break down every movie that's ever been made, and you go back and you look and you're just going to dissect like. I'm not going to see any movie made by any producer or executive that is a jerk or a racist or a misogynist or whatever. You're never going to go see another movie again. You're never going to watch another TV show again. You know why? Because it's very prevalent in Hollywood.
Yeah, and no like studio is innocent of anything. Like people, Snyder fans are now supporting Netflix, like they haven't done any bad stuff. Didn't they make that goddamn movie about kids as strippers or something? I don't know.
Yeah. The cuties thing. Yeah. So my thing is like, again, I don't begrudge anybody. If you feel like your conscience says, hey, you know what, Enosh, I don't feel like I can go see this movie. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Just don't go attacking people who maybe have a difference of opinion than you. Right. Because at the end of the day, that's what makes that fandom toxic, is when we do stuff like that, when we start attacking people for just having a difference of opinion about a movie or something than what we have, or we start talking about things as if we were there for events that we weren't there for, right? And I'm sorry, I do feel that there are people who are enraged about racism and those things and the things that that Ray Fisher has brought up. But somebody asked me, well, why don't you stand with Ray Fisher anymore? And I'm like, when have I ever said that? I've never said that I don't stand with Ray. I absolutely stand with Ray Fisher. Like Ray and I have still talked, and he wants to come back on the show again. And so, like, I don't know where that idea comes from. I have no idea where that idea would come from, because I absolutely support Ray Fisher. So that's not the case at all. So if you think that that's fine, but we don't. I'm sorry. No, I am absolutely still upset about the Walter Hamadas of the world and the Toby Emmerichs of the world, and you know, the Ann Sarnoffs of the world who've said stupid things and done stupid things. But, you know, look, I've stated my piece, right? I've stated my case. I've stated what I feel about it. And until there's something else to talk about, like, there are other things going on in the world too, right, that we have to address. But heck yeah, man, I still got it here in my queue. I stand with Ray Fisher, right? I'm the one. What's funny is I see this actually being used a lot. The logo is his, but I put the "I stand with Ray Fisher" on this back when this happened and started spreading it around. And it's funny because I see people to this day still using this, like, with my "I stand with Ray Fisher," and I know it's mine because of how I put it together. And and people have literally attacked me with that as their icon or whatever, their avatar. And I think that's hilarious, you know, because it's like, yeah, guys, I'm still around, still here, you know. It is what it is, you know. So, but just don't put that off on other people. I think it's just gotten to a point where it's just kind of, it's stupid now. It's stupid now. Really, honestly, it is. All right. Well, hey, we've gone for 3.5 hours. I think it's been a good show. We've had some good people here, and hey, I think we had a good time. I had a good time. I hope that you had a good time. One last thing that we're going to do, Anthony. You know what we're going to do, right?
What is Andy not doing?
Yeah. I think we need to ask the question. What is good old Andy Signore up to right now?
Master Caslarus, I banish thee to the 7th realm of the dimension, Icano. Yes, no one is safe from my swordplay.
And well, you know what? And I hear he's working on a show with his new lady. Here we go.
Hey everyone, it's time to make some pasta with my favorite meatball.
It's me, Meaty Joseph.
New character he's trying out on the show, I hear. Meaty Joseph. So.
Meaty Joseph.
Meaty Joseph. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, thanks to everyone who was here tonight. Thanks to everyone who gave super chats. Thanks to Zeno for going full Poindexter tonight. Appreciate that, as always. And so glad that you all were here tonight. And if you missed any part of the show, go back and watch the earlier part of the show. If you're watching this on repeat, let us know what you think of the topics down in the description below. If you haven't, go follow us on social media, because we want to keep the conversation going with you guys long after the videos are done. And especially right now, go follow us on TikTok, because we need to get to 1,000 followers so that we can go live over there and do live videos over there. So we would love for you to please help us out with that. Yeah, I think that's it. Dad Dude Vince, we actually did a Betty White-ism at the beginning of the show, but you know what? I'll do one more on our way out from the book right here that Tiffany got me. Right, whoops, wrong thing there. Whoops, there we go. The Little Guide to Betty White. These are Betty White quotes. And the last one that we had read was, I'm not one to blow my own Vertubenflugen. But here we go. I'm probably the most patient person you know. Go ahead. Try to think of somebody else. I'll wait. There you go. Most patient person
She's
you know.
right.
Yep. Go ahead. Try to think of somebody else. I'll wait. All right, guys. Hey, as always, thank you guys for being here. Make sure that on your way out that you hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And if you haven't subscribed for some reason, please subscribe. Tell somebody else about the lounge, will you? We share us on your social media and tell somebody, hey, you know what? I really dig what they do over here at this channel, and let somebody know. All right. Yes, remember to dislike, unsubscribe, and send hate mail. Always appreciated by everyone. Thank you to William. Thank you to Anthony. Thank you to Axel. Thank you to Brian. Thank you to Philip, and everybody else who's part of the show tonight. And as I always say, don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter. And you know what? Don't let them tell you that your fandom doesn't matter. But seek to have good conversations. All right? And treat everybody with respect. And if you do that, there'll always be a place for you here in the Poindexter Lounge. And I leave you with this little teaser, because coming up in about a week, or at the end of this week, on Saturday, we're going to be announcing a brand new show here in the Poindexter Pantheon. So until next time, stay nerdy.
Did I freeze or did he freeze?
Or is it frozen? Yeah, it's frozen as well.
Froze. Yeah, he froze.
Enosh, you there?
The hell's going on?
It's frozen on. It's finally here. Where's the video? I don't know where he has the video. I do it.
No, he's going.
Does he want me to end the broadcast?
I have no clue.
Wait, can you end the program?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if he wants to. All right. Well, looks like Enosh just disappeared. Thank you guys for all coming out to the Poindexter Lounge. Enosh froze himself out. He has a new show debuting this Saturday. Looks like it has something to do with games, I'm going to guess. But looks like it's going to be fun. Who knows? I might even be involved. But thank you, everybody, for showing up. Give him 5 seconds to come back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, you're not right. Good night, guys.